Are we live? Are we live? Did I make this thing work on really, really quick notice? We live. Just got the notification. How is everybody? We're waiting on everybody to come on over from the Cash's channel. We're doing a live stream extravaganza double header super show for you tonight. Thanks everybody for coming on over. We'll wait for the man himself here. He should be here shortly. Or is he do a competing live stream? Is that what we got going on? Let's just peek in there on him, see if he is still live. Yep, he's still shucking and jiving for y'all. He'll be here. Let's see who we got in here tonight. Grade 8 transportation. Ooh, Kelly's Kitchen. Sterling says, have a good show off to bed vacation next week. What's that like? TBT USA says, get busy living or get busy dying. Well, thanks, Shawshank. Yeah, I live a lot of my life by the great philosopher Andy Dufresne. You can't go wrong, I feel like. You know, they actually stole that from me. I made that up. Trucking with MC, what's up, guys? Thanks for coming in, Trucking with MC. Thanks for coming in. Mike Cerrone in here, channel champion, coming in for some low quality, highbrow entertainment. Fate Trucking, I'll get you that link here in a little bit. Trying to get Cash in here first, get this party started. Justin Axford just became a channel member. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, definitely email me that 99 Freightliner. Email me about that. I'm gonna pass that along. We'll I bet you we could get that sold for you. Heck, tell you what, we'll break off a little commission. We'll sell that thing quick. You know what I'm saying? Just teasing you. Who else we got in here? Mrs. TBT. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Cash must have ended his live stream. Everybody's coming on over. Michael Anderson's on time. John Connelly. Is this John Connolly, the country superstar? It's all I've ever really wanted in my life is for John Conley to come in one of my live streams. I really would like Conway Twitty, but he ain't coming in. Just saying. Insult Investor, thanks for coming in. Who this? Who that?
Are you gonna talk about trucking, or are you just gonna sit here and jaw jack all night?
I'm gonna sit here and jaw yak or jaw hack.
All right, well, I'm jacking something, but it ain't my jaw.
Oh, Miller Boys Trucking. How long y'all think rates will be like this? Well, somebody was just saying rates down in Arizona, obviously very bad. Rates in other parts of the country, turning around.
Even worse.
Follow the seasons. I don't know if you're pulling van or reefer. I don't know what you're doing, but if you're pulling reefer, follow the seasons. And then that pulls some trucks away from van, and there you go. Those rates will creep up a little bit too, but
I know what you're saying. You're saying chase that heat map on the DAT load board.
There you go. Whatever you do, don't go out and establish relationships and look for your own customers. Just follow that heat map. That's what we won't do.
That's what I do.
All right, Bill Bob made it over here. Thanks for coming, buddy. Hot Rod Dave in the house. Thanks for coming in. Local live. Hey now. What's this channel member thing? Do you have those over on your channel, Cash?
I do. I got all kind of stuff over there on my channel. Dropping 45 videos a day. If you like content, I got a good channel for you. Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary Bates in the house, still here. Thanks. That one guy, are you the chosen one? No, I just live by the great philosopher Andy Dufresne. Are you the chosen one, Cash?
Depending on what we're talking about.
I don't know. I'm definitely not the chosen. Am I the chosen one to receive a case of lot lizard sweat in the mail? Have I been chosen for that?
Well, it's I had to get a note from your doctor.
You'll know when it comes. It's be from Dr. McGillicuddy.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get that proof first. Liability reasons and whatnot.
Watch for you. Good luck getting it through customs. Andrew McGlynn pulled 9 Gs coming off Cash's aircraft carrier. Elbow cough. Oh. Thanks for coming in, Maverick. Ooh. Justin Axford says, how or who can I find for a mentor to talk to get advice on hiring my first driver in addition to myself? We can do that. We can do that. I have my time's kind of divided, unfortunately. You can get me for an hour a month, or just one time for an hour. Go to that upgrade to that membership. Look at the memberships. You can get that through a membership there. And I know it probably seems like a creepy thing to do to charge for it, but I can't do 100 of them a week or a month, and I have a business to run, so have to only do it for the people that are serious about it, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, we can do that. Heavy D, what's up? Oh, he's obviously talking about you.
What do you know about that? He found that picture on the internet.
Mark M in the house. Thanks for coming in. What's that like? What's that 9 to 5 life like, Mark M? Working on them reefer units and sleeping in your own bed. How's that? How you liking that? You like that, sleeping in your own bed every night? I do. HDPJ Logistics LLC up in the house for Bill Bob. Paul Harrison here. Mark Ely made it in. Uh-oh, that one guy. My weekend load was canceled. Tonu. I'm poor. I got 2 Tonus last week from myself. Went to go try to haul a couple of real short loads for something to do, and they both resulted in a Tonu. Made a video about one, but it sounds a little whiny, so I don't know if I'll put it up. But yeah, I'll put it up.
Put it in fast forward and let it run. Come on.
Yeah, and the one, oh, they're both killer loads. The one went 110 miles and paid $1,150, and then the other one went 560 miles, 570 miles, paid $3,800. Had a couple stops on it. $650 a mile it came out to.
Okay.
Whatever it was.
Stop talking about trucking now and get back to jaw jacking.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just kidding.
John Connolly says, no, sir, I am not a country and western superstar. Dang. Daisy May in the house. Thanks for coming in. Trucking with MC says, I just started driving. I didn't know Cash was live. Oh, that's what we call a type 1 error.
I'll have to keep my eye on you, Trucking with MC.
Somebody got to. Round him up. Is that your John Voight eye? Which one are you gonna keep on him? From Anaconda? George Wilson, he's made it in. Mark M says, we look kind of suspect. Oh, Miller Boy's Trucking, he's down in Arizona with a flatbed. Yeah, I don't know about that flatbed down there in Arizona. Ooh, you probably want to put her in the wind to Houston, sir. Go over to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, get over there in that oil field, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Bill Beasley says railroad talking about striking September 16th, possibly. Got me some information on that. My neighbor, 3 houses down, works for the railroad. He says they voted 3 months ago 98% to strike. They were going on strike. Yeah. Government said, no, you're not. We're not going to let you.
Right.
They have put a moratorium on it for, I think, 90 days. And that 90 days is about to expire here shortly. And they're still saying they're going to strike. He says they've been working without a contract for 3 years. And they're just getting real crappy about call time and all that kind of stuff. So he's saying they're going to strike. We talked a lot about it, and he's like, I said, what do the starting people make over there? He's like, $40 an hour. I'm like, you need any help? He's like, yeah, we can't hire people, man. I said, you can't freaking hire people at $40 an hour. That is ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's like a trucker's life. You got to travel and you sleep in hotels and stuff, but
it don't start out at $14 or $40 an hour in Minneapolis. I've looked into it.
Oh, it don't?
No, it's like $18 an hour for like the first 2 years.
Oh, yeah, and they're real crappy about that call time, man. They'll call you every day. You can't go nowhere. Mark M knows what it's all about. He says that heat map is a load of shiznit.
Yeah, I was being joking about the heat map.
Yeah, we were looking at I was looking at the heat map that one day, and I'm like, boy, you look at this thing, and this was like before last week. You look at this thing, and you see the upper Midwest is on fire, and rates got to be $10 a mile. Look how hot it is. Just because the volume's there, doesn't mean they're gonna pay more. The rates still sucked. But when you're hot, you're hot.
Can I? I mean, I don't know if you got to deal with the load board people. I won't say no names, but can I go on a limb and say, what if like they knew they were going to have a lot of freight in, let's say, Kansas? Well, if they changed the heat map to look good in Kansas, it would draw a bunch of trucks to Kansas, and then they would overload the area. So it's kind of like they could bring trucks into the area under false pretenses. You know what I mean? Like
you think they would do that?
Hell yeah.
I know they would do that.
Hell yeah.
They got that information.
Exactly.
They have all that.
Yeah.
They have everything. They know where you're going before you go there.
Yeah. You're a fiddle and they're Charlie Daniels. You know what I mean? They have their way with you.
Ooh. How's it gonna end? Are we playing for a fiddle of gold?
What's that?
Are we playing for a fiddle of gold?
Yeah, you go end up in Georgia.
Not where I want to be, except they're in pumpkin season or watermelon season. Sal Barcena is in the house. Thanks for coming in. Mechanic Jay says the bad time for rates is going to be after Christmas. Yeah, I mean, we're already moving holiday freight, so, what we're looking forward to in the reefer business is back to school. Need some of them groceries to haul to the kiddos. Here we go. We got a link to Cash is King's channel. If you don't know my guest, this man right here is Cash is King Trucking. Check out his channel. There's a link in the comments. He also has a second channel. Let's blow that channel up. We got to get that channel monetized. Trucking with Diabetes. Soon to have special guest host Wilford Brimley joining him on that channel. I've heard that. Is that true?
I'm working on it.
You need to get the Quaker Oats as a sponsor over there.
Yeah, oats are horrible for people with diabetes.
Maybe that's why Wilford Brimley died. Or he was just 90. I don't know. Smooth Operator made it in. Thanks for coming in. Oh, Daisy May says lot lizard tears cure the thingy.
Where would you get their tears though? Their eyes are so dry and don't they have to lick their eyes to keep them moist?
It's true. It's true.
Oh,
Gasman, new member. Thank you, Gasman. Appreciate it.
Come on.
Justin Axford says I'm going to look into that. We're going to take a look-see into that membership. Bait Trucking, link to channel. A lot of channels in here tonight. Everybody check them out. Some good ones. Some up-and-comers. Trucking with Diabetes, up-and-comer. Fate Trucking. Well, he's coming along. Edge says, "Sup there, sexies." He must be talking to you.
Ooh.
Oh, Hot Rod Dave runs a semi-local regional flatbed with a Moffett lift. Start about 5 a.m. and home every night. Just posted my first video of that new deal. I tell you what. Let me make you a moderator. You could post a link to that video. How do I do that? How do I get you a moderator here? How do I do that? Carry me on your shoulders there for a second, Cash.
Okay, hang on a second. I got another tab open here with this video running in it. I got to get off of that.
All right, there, Hot Rod Dave. I just made you a
Nobody needs to get
moderator.
feedback, were they?
No, we good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. When I grabbed that link to this chat, I left
Oh,
that
okay.
YouTube tab open.
It's all right. George
Just
Wilson
realized.
says, if your reefer work dried up, what would you guys haul? I don't know. Whatever was left, I guess. We could throw some dry freight in that reefer. We do that from time to time. Whatever we gotta do, I guess, like everybody else. I know, Cash, you'd go running right to Amazon.
JB Hunt 360 would be my first call.
There you go.
I tell you, I was out in Maryland last week, and there are JB Hunt trailers sitting everywhere. Freaking rest area, a dropped JB Hunt trailer sitting in the rest area.
You'd probably quit.
I just like, who's throwing these trailers ever? I mean, everywhere I went, there was a dropped JB Hunt trailer. I'm like, damn, JB, come on.
I wouldn't think they would let you drop a trailer in a rest area.
I don't think the people dropping them give a damn, to be honest. You know, it's like when you pay someone $1.60 a loaded mile. In this market, does he give a damn what you think?
No. Don't care about your feelings. Bill Beasley, how would a rail strike affect truck freight? Well, you logically believe that whatever needed to get moved, importantly, they throw her on a truck. Does that necessarily mean rates would go up? Who knows in this market? Depends on how bad they need it moved. They'd probably just wait. Probably them cars, those containers would probably just sit there and wait, honestly. And then any of the semi trailers that were going on there, they'd just probably towed them with a truck. But unless it went on for a long time, I don't think it'll have all that much effect on trucking. There's going to be some. But you'd have to add a lot of volume, to make a significant change in the market right now.
As poorly run as the government is, I think they would bring in the National Guard and have them run the railroads.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll let a railroad strike last long.
No, I mean they wouldn't even let it happen last time. So
yeah. That one guy says the heat map drops the ball like it's hot. Come on. Grade 8 Transportation DIY. Do you have a sonar subscription? Paul has a sonar subscription, and we look at it now and then. And we've had a few teleconference calls with FreightWaves, and gone over it and looked at it. It's just amazing. You just would not believe what the information that they have. I mean, any city, any trailer, and it is live to the minute. They know how rates are changing live in real time. DAT don't have that. The amount of information they have would blow your mind. You couldn't even go through it all. It's expensive, but if you have a company it's important, it's a must-have. It's a must-have. They know the trends. They know what freight rates are going to be next week. They know the trend like a couple weeks ahead in certain areas. So they'll say, they'll tell everybody, don't pre-book your loads for, on the trucks because rates are going to be lower next week because this is what the demand is. But just they know ahead of time. And DAT is behind. But you pay to play, that's for sure. Dangerfield Truck is getting a reefer. What do you guys think? I found a reefer, a trailer, referring at Prime, used of course, 21-inch temp rating, 39.9, 2016, or should I get something newer? What kind of unit? What kind,
Yeah.
How many hours on that unit?
And do you have any do you have any insight on getting some freight for that reefer?
Yeah.
Because, reefer rates aren't that great on the spot market right now.
They're not. That's a way more reasonable price than you would have bought that trailer for 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Just consider how many hours it has on it. On a 2016, you'd want to see. I mean, 15,000 hours would probably be a lot on a 2016. Should be around like 10, 11, 12.
Prime trailers end up with a lot of hours because they drop them at places though, like
Oh, that's true.
Running. So,
That's true.
And if it's a prime, more like 80%, it's a utility. And
I thought they got Wabash. Aren't they mostly Wabash?
No, they're mostly utility and Thermo King.
Okay. Yeah, need a lot more information. I mean, honestly.
They do have Wabash. I've seen them have Wabash though. But
okay. Hot Rod Dave says railroad can't strike, so they're all quitting. Neighbor says the older guys won't quit. They're too close to retirement. You know, that package is too good. But he says a lot of the younger people are quitting because they're sick of the call time. They can't go anywhere or do anything because you are 100% on call at all times, pretty much, when you're first starting. They'll call you at the middle of the night, then call you back in the morning, call you back in the afternoon. The younger people don't like that. Big Andrew says, "Big brother DAT, huh? It's not your rate, it's our rates, comrade." Gasman hauls chemical tankers. Some of his loads you've hauled because of railroad problems. Okay, yeah, that kind of thing. You would think that's important. Probably needs to move. Yeah, I mean, if you got containers full of tiddlywinks, you know, Christmas decorations and plastic Chinese garbage.
Yeah.
Walmart. Did you see Walmart canceled like what's the number? $2 billion worth of orders.
Mm-hmm.
Sent it back, canceled it because their inventories are so high. That stuff can sit in the ports. They won't care.
I'm still waiting for that container of fidget spinners to show up I ordered.
By the time you get them, they're going to be back in style, son. You'll sell them for a lot of money.
Okay.
Billy Bob says, "What do you think about the Supreme Court ruling EPA cannot enforce emissions on trucks?" I'm all right with that. I think most things should be turned over back to the states.
There is a good YouTube video. I don't know. I can't remember who made it. Some diesel channel, but they asked a lawyer about that. Like, can we delete our trucks? You know, like they got like the pickup trucks, you know, diesels, and you know, lawyer said basically we're still in a real gray area. But it was a good video, you know.
That's where we operate, sir. It's in the gray area. It's where we do our best work. Fairly certain there is a lizard prowling out here at the Red Roof Inn this evening. Need to get their dang sign fixed. Oh.
I love that Ed Oof.
Yep. Stayed there many times. Hot Rod Dave says, "Okay, let me get the link." Yeah, go ahead and do that.
He's dropped that. It's in there further down in the chat. I saw it go through.
Andrew wants to know where he can find a JB Hunt 420 trailer.
It came on. I'm trying to get that out rolling right now on hauling illicit things for large sums of money.
That's a long name for an app. Might want to shorten that up. We'll call it U-Haul. Billy Bob says JB Hunt ain't paying that well on their app.
All right.
Sorry. Oh, sometimes I have a stroke live out in the air. JB Hunt's paying under $2 a mile. I was looking on there at 360, and it was. I've seen loads for like $1.20, but you know, reefer stuff. I'm like, yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck. Have fun with that.
I called my JB Hunt rep and I said, "Hey, wait! I thought this stuff was supposed to pay $360. Come on."
Oh.
He said it does for a 600-mile load. It came out.
Marty's saying the more wants to see him strike for 8 months on the railroad. I don't think they'll let it go on that long. There you go, Hot Rod Dave dropped the link.
I'll check that out. Where he at?
Yeah, I hope I didn't just let blindly let somebody post a link for something crazy.
I check it out.
Okay.
Looks legit.
Jason's got Hogan hauling a cattle pot. Damn it. Bill Weezy says, generally speaking, is it better to book spot market freight in the afternoon hours because brokers might be itchy to move the load? Yeah, that works in a hot market. A lot of people finding out that strategy doesn't work anymore. You better be looking days ahead of time. In a hot market, the price goes up the closer it gets to the load. In a market like this, you might be left with nothing. You'll most likely be left with nothing. Different strategies for different markets. Now's the time to book ahead. You will get more money too. If come down to the last minute, you probably won't, unless they're desperate. You're gonna catch somebody slipping every now and then. Don't get me wrong, but you'll hit less home runs than you used to. Put it that way. Michael White says, just tuned in. Have we covered rates, dry van prices? We covered all that. We even talked about reefer prices, flatbed prices. What else did we talk about? The railroad.
Ain't no jaw jacking over here.
No, it's all trucking all the time. Every day, all day.
Oh.
I always say, get busy living or get busy dying. Saying that, I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Rich Taco in the house. Thanks for coming in. The rail cars are not moving. The trucking industry should pick up. Yes, it should. We just have so much extra capacity right now.
Right.
Of trucks. It's going to have to be a lot of freight to make any meaningful difference. Hot Seat says, guess I picked the wrong day to start Tiddlywinks Trucking LLC. You're going to want to incorporate that. You don't want somebody swooping in and staking a claim on your Tiddlywinks. Yeah, people are deleting trucks now because of the ruling. Yeah, they were doing it do it before, do it now. I don't know. That's a big decision. I mean, I've seen people get bad deletes and it just destroy their truck. Just absolutely destroy it. So, I don't know. If you're going to do it, shop around. Get some referrals. Definitely want some referrals.
Go on the dark web. It's probably where the best place to search for that, right?
Yeah. Buy your delete from a Russian hacker. I highly recommend. And give them access to your software. Just grant them access to everything on your computer so they can program your ECM for you. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'm telling you. David Donaldson said, well, once that reefer passes 20,000, time to get rid of it. I bought mine with 10,000. 3 years later, I'm at 14,000. There you go.
My current reefer has 22,000 run hours on it. Is that a lot?
Switch on or runtime?
No, that's engine run.
I mean, it's a matter of opinion. I've seen reefers go well over 40,000. Most I saw was 60,000. Don't get me wrong, she was barely running, but I've seen it. You'll use a few compressors over the lifetime. I'm not so sure the newer units, especially the Thermo Kings, will run that long. Carriers probably will. The amount of electronics on them new Thermo Kings is astonishing. They are sophisticated.
Yeah, you flip that switch on and it takes 35 minutes to go through all the little computer checks and before the damn thing will actually fire up.
There you go. Rich Taco says people been deleted their trucks. California is the mecca of deleted trucks. Isn't it ironic? The state with the highest emissions limitations would be the mecca of deleted trucks. I don't know that to be true. The only thing I know to be true is Rich Taco would not lie to me. Rich Taco would never lie to me. It's an upstanding citizen. Ashley McGee says, can you use pepper spray to harvest lot lizard tears? Do you have any experience in that, Cash?
I do, but it makes
cross-contaminate?
Them yeah, it makes them also spicy. I mean, it works, though. It works.
Dangerfield Trucking says Hyundai and Wabash, 8 to 11,000 hours. Carrier and Thermo King, spot market on referrals. I live 1 mile from Indianapolis. Fruits, I think. I should just walk in and say and ask if they need owner operators. Well, I would take the Wabash over the Hyundai.
Why is that?
I've pulled some Hyundai trailers. Haven't been impressed. Have not been. Now, that granted, they were dry vans, so I got to say that to qualify it. Not at all impressed. Little better than Vanguard trailers that I had pulled. I would prefer the Wabash, and I would want Hendrickson suspension. I would not take a Meritor suspension. I guess if the Wabash had a Meritor suspension and the Hyundai had a Hendrickson, I might take the Hyundai over the Wabash if that was the case, because the Meritor suspensions I've had, they eat tires, man. They freaking eat tires. You line them, you rebush them, you make sure the wheel bearings are adjusted properly, and I just can't freaking keep tires on them. And if they got this between the duals, this, I don't know what they call it, the design there, they crack. They crack. I forget what they call that. At any rate, I would want a Hendrickson. And Carrier or Thermo King, that is personal preference. Older units like the SB series, 300s, 200s, stuff like that, I would take Thermo King every day. The newer units, I actually prefer the Carrier. So much less to go wrong with them. The newer Thermo King units are awesome, but it is very expensive to do a service on them, and with the electronics on them, it is so expensive to work on them. Carriers are louder, Thermo Kings are quieter. I mean, there's a lot to consider. What say you, Cash?
Yeah, Thermo King is also, like you said, it's more expensive to maintain and work on. But I mean, they make a damn good unit.
They do.
From my experience.
They do, and the service network is outstanding. It's a bigger service network on the Thermo King. We got to point it all out.
Yeah.
All out, honestly. Spot market on referrals. Indianapolis ain't the worst place to be. You're not far from Chicago. You're right in the mix. You're in that Midwest mix. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
And do I just walk in and ask if they need owner operator? Well, hey, probably more than most people will ever do. Just walk in and say, hey, I have a truck, I have a reefer. Is there anything I can help you with? You have any difficult lanes I could help you with to get my foot in the door? Most people will never even ask that question. So, yeah, talk to people, man. That's the best thing you're gonna do and get in there. Is just start talking to people. It takes some time, but eventually you're gonna hit on something. It can take a long time, but if you don't try, you're sure to never happen. Ooh, you just sent me the pictures on that Classic. Take a look at that. You interested in Classic XL, Cash?
Ooh, possibly. Can't say I wouldn't be.
Ooh, train horns and everything. How much? Nampa, Idaho. All right, we'll take a closer look at that later. Dan's Outdoor Adventure says, come on now, times are looking up according to CNN Business. With gas prices dropping, think of it as $100 a month tax cut. Or maybe $100 a month tax raise. Talk about sinning. Yeah. Funny how they want to call it a tax cut when it goes back down, but they don't want to take any responsibility for it going up. Funny how that works. Yeah, plus it's going back up anyway, so they're full of it. CNN, a bunch of garbage. Where do you take your news from, Cash? The windshield?
What I see out in front of my eyes. I told a buddy of mine the other day, I'm going to get 2 TVs, and I'm going to put Fox on one and MSNBC on the other, and I'm going to face them toward each other and let them argue with each other all day. And then I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to turn them off and say, you're both wrong.
That's right. Did they flood the market with imported owner-operators in anticipation of the railroad strike? No, the owner-operator market got flooded over the course of the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Severely flooded. I know February we took on 20,000, and then I don't know. I can't find where the statistics would be on how many we've lost. I heard one month we lost like 10,000 authorities. I don't know. It's hard to find that number.
Yeah.
I should look a little harder. They got to be going down, you would think.
I seen a DOT number that was like in the mid 3s. Started with a 3 the other day, like mid 3s. Man, we adding them up.
I mean, unfortunately, there's still too many. There's still too much capacity in the spot market.
Yeah.
Rich Taco says, speaking of hackers, my factoring company got hacked. It's been an interesting week. You must be with Apex, Rich Taco. Apex got hacked.
Yeah, TCS/Apex. Yeah, they got it.
Mm-hmm. I still think that's fishy. I'm wondering when it all gets turned. Did it get turned back on yet, Rich Taco? When it turns back on, I want to know if everything functions as it used to. It's kind of unusual for someone to be down that long.
Right.
Especially somebody in a fiduciary responsibility. Bill Beasley, if I slide my kingpin into the fifth wheel and get red and tacky on my front lip, what should I do? Come on. That's a cash is king type question. What is it? What is the man to do?
Slid my kingpin into the fifth wheel, got red and tacky on my front lip. What should I do? I'd wipe the majority of it off, you know. You don't want that to run down and get on your t-shirt.
Do you comb it into your beard?
Beard game strong, you do.
Mm-hmm. Damn right. Chicken Huck in the house. Thanks for coming in. David Donaldson says, carrier noise will wake the dead. Some of them. Here's the thing about carrier. They develop a manifold tick and manifold leaks. Exhaust manifold. Get that fixed. And you can quiet down a carrier. They have sound deadening you can put on them. But obviously company driver, if it ain't your trailer, you can't do none of that. Michael White says, I know this may be subjective, but is this a good time to buy EQ? IYO. What is EQ? Equipment, right?
I would think.
Look at the big brain on DIY. Hey, give it a little bit of time. It's going to get better. Yeah. It's not a bad time to buy. Now everybody, if the rates are down, things suck. Yeah, but it's relative. Like when rates were high, look how priced equipment is. You're just not going to, doesn't make sense. Equipment has come down, but I think it's going to come down more. Just patience. I might buy something by the end of the year. I was talking about that today. I might buy a few things.
I have a strict policy on that most of the time, but we're in a weird market right now. Most of the time I say, when you're ready, when you got your money ready and your mind right,
yeah,
and your education right, buy it. Because like you said, when freight's up, equipment's up. And when equipment's down, the market's down. But we're in such a weird area with volume right now.
Yeah.
Like
if you got something going on, trucks are down, trailers are down. If you have something going on and something to do with it, yeah, it'd probably be a good time for you to buy, like personally.
Yeah.
If you're only buying because the equipment's down, but you don't have nothing to do with it, with the equipment, then hey, wait till you're in the situation. Hell, if equipment was still sky high, but you were in a great situation and had something really nice to do with it, and had the work, that would have been a good time to buy. It's more
Right.
important. Like that equipment's going to last for years. You wait for the right situation with you. It might come around every 10 years. You know, an opportunity or whatever you want to call it. But it's most important where you're at. But yeah, if you got something to do with it, it's not a bad time. I'll tell you that. I got offered some trailers last week that are, they were probably $25,000 less than they would have been 6 months ago. Didn't really need them though. Old School Noosa says a Carrier 7500 ain't loud. It might disturb the dead, but it ain't gonna wake them up. Carriers.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I got a buddy of mine was telling me about Lone Mountain today. You know, a lot of people like Lone Mountain. So I'm over here at Lone Mountain looking at a truck. They got the new Kenworth in. You want to hear the numbers on this?
Yes, I do.
$60,000 down.
What?
$2,900 a month for 60 months.
That's a total cost of $234,000. Ain't no freaking way.
It's got Packard MX-13, 455 horse, 12-speed auto, 4-year, 500,000 mile warranty, and a transmission warranty of 5 years, 750,000.
I just don't see it. I just don't. The payment is $2,900. So after 4 years, how many miles are you gonna have on that truck?
Well, that's
half
60 month loan. That's a 60-month loan. So
right, but I'm just saying after 4 years, say you put 125,000 miles a year on. That's a half million miles.
You're gonna have to turn some miles to make $3,000 a month. Like,
yeah, you are. So maybe you got, after 4 years, maybe you got 650,000. You got a truck still after 4 years with 650,000 miles that you're still paying $2,900 a month for 2 more years, or another, what? How many? Another year? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 60 months.
It's gonna get tough when that truck gets older. Those numbers are gonna get tough.
Yeah.
I don't see how to support that kind of money.
It's not there. It blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, who's doing this? You know, I put out a bunch of short videos today about new trucks. You know, I was going through the different brands and kind of showing what, you know, where we're at in the truck market right now. And these dealers are still feeling like it's perfectly fine to have a $200,000 price on a truck. I mean,
here's the thing though. They're holding strong on them new truck prices. Like, they are not budging. They might be a little less, because I saw Volvos for like $290 or something, but you know, a year ago. But they're still $250, $260. Used prices are dropping like a rock. The gap between new and used, they're not going to sell any new trucks. The auction prices are going through the floor. You know, dealer prices, used prices on the dealer lots are still maintaining strong. But that's going to have to change. But it might not, because with $250,000 for a new truck, that's going to be hard for people. They're going to spend the 80, 70, or 80 for a truck with 500,000 miles. So, but auction prices are going through the floor. That's going to put a lot of downward pressure. Dealers in any circumstance are going to have a hard time selling trucks. They can't sell the new ones because they're too expensive. They can't sell the used ones because they're into them too much. They can't come down on the price as much, and auction prices are going through the floor. So dealers are going to have a hard time selling. But if I'm not normally one to buy at an auction, but if prices continue to go the way they are at an auction, I might take a shot on some things, take a chance. I mean, if you can pick up really used good trucks for $15,000, $20,000, a truck like what you're driving right now, I'd pay $20,000 for that all day long. I'd buy 3 or 4 of them, even if I didn't need them right now. I'd let them sit.
Yeah, they're still holding price though, because I seen a pretty ragged out one like mine at you know Don Baskins down in Tennessee. You know they kind of they're basically an auction lot. You know they buy them at the auction and bring them in. But a truck like mine with 1.5 million miles on it, and they wanted 35,000 for it.
What?
Uh,
That's crazy.
Damn plastic trucks.
You need a hood truck. Your truck got a hood?
It does have a hood.
Is it plastic?
Nope, it's fiberglass.
Ooh. You're moving
Just
on
like,
up.
just like Corvettes.
Wrap your ass in fiberglass?
True that. True that.
Uh-oh. George Wilson says Smart Trucking in Canada claims his real bread and butter was chemical tanker.
Who is Smart Trucking?
In Canada.
I'm not from Canada. America.
America.
Yeah.
Me too. America. That one guy says, oh, that's a spam caller. We're not going to answer that. Doctor deleted my Cascadia, but the coal don't row much. What's that?
You should have took the spam call on speaker on a live show. Come on.
Oh. Should I call him back?
I don't know. Wait and see if you get another one.
We'll play. We're busy jaw jacking.
Yeah, I was fixing to say that's jaw jacking. Don't be doing that. Let's stick to trucking.
That's right.
Sorry.
Billy Bob says, I have a 2017 Vanguard Max Cube with a Hendrickson. Yeah, can't go wrong with the Hendrickson. I pulled a lot of Vanguard dry vans. When they get old, man, the doors would warp. You could not make them things seal up.
Reefer or
Van.
van? Okay.
Yep. Dangerfield says, thanks.
Why do you need a dry van to fill up?
Huh?
Why do you need a dry van to fill up?
So the toilet paper don't get wet. Dangerfield wants a carrier, cheaper maintenance. I've been doing my research. Well, there you go. So you already know.
Yep.
You already know. Carrier, you could do the service yourself on that Thermo King. You got to take that EGR apart and clean it on every service, and that's expensive. A lot of them now, they do a swap out. They'll just instead of sitting there and cleaning it, they'll just swap it out on a program. George Wilson's bread and butter was crosstown cartage in dump work. Okay. Oh, Indie Fruit is a place. Okay. Bill Beasley says, I've always had good experience at Indie Fruit. Nice people. I did not know that was a place. Maybe I have. I think I took taters there one time. On the north side of town?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, you back in off the street. It's a brown building. Is that the place?
Yeah, real old place.
Yeah.
For sure it's it.
Okay. Andrew wants to know, what's the rear end ratio on that Classic for sale? I think it was 355s if I remember right. Cash, when did Mavericks start this morning containers? I don't know.
Not sure. Oh, is he talking about Maverick truck lines moving containers?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to say. I don't know. A lot of these companies, I seen a Crete pulling a container not too long ago. They got contracts with these big stores and retailers and manufacturers. Hell, if it'll hook to a truck and they can make money on it, they'll run it.
You talking about Crete or me?
Everybody that's in trucking, that should be the name of the game. If it'll hook to a truck and you're making good money at it, that's.
Oh no! See, somebody was telling me all about last week that I should quit trucking, or I need to get out of trucking, because in my video I made about getting your own authority, that I think I made the comment that if you're only in it for the money, you might want to lease to a carrier because the money don't last forever. That kind of money. And in context, when I made that video, is in the boom market, and I'm like, well, people are kind of finding out now that the money don't forever. He's like, maybe you should get out of trucking. I'm like, well, the point was this can't last forever, but Whatever. Trolls and whatnot. Hot Rod Dave says, if you get those TVs that close with those channels, that close with those channels running, they will implode. You're gonna cause a black hole is what you're gonna do. Who that?
It's gonna be some kind of hole.
Oh, jeez. Rich Tago said, fuel card app came back yesterday, but app is not fully functional. Factoring site just came back up. This week, you better hope you had a good relationship with your agent to get your funding as fast. Ooh. They were talking about some, I don't know, company of somewhat kind of size. I'm assuming maybe around 100 trucks or something. And they were saying, we can't pay our drivers. We can't buy fuel. Our trucks have to shut down on the side of the road. We can't deliver freight. Nobody's going to get paid, blah, blah, blah. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, we just came off the best 2 years trucking has ever seen. Why is your factoring company running your company? Why can't you afford to exist outside your factoring company? Like, I would see that as a company that's in trouble.
Right.
Or am I wrong?
No, that's
It's like a farmer letting the banker run his farm. Factoring company's there to just, process payment. Not to run not to be everything all in your company. Like, I don't know. I think that's a bad management decision.
That's the way they set it up now. You get into factoring, and we got to get you a fuel card that'll go along with your factoring, and I've had offers from factoring companies and fuel cards and everybody else to be on YouTube, but I have a hard time taking it. It's just like
easier because the big one that other people promote. Let's not say their name, but there's a factoring company out there that might also have a brokerage, right? No idea what their name is. They might be a bigger one. That's too much information for one company to have, if you ask me. Because if they wanted to, I'm not saying they do this, I make no accusations and no knowledge that they do it. If they wanted to, they could pull the freight rates off of every lane in the country that they have coming in the factoring business. And they could, I don't know, give that information to their brokerage. And their brokerage could go into every customer and cut the rate on every lane in the country. Over and over and over again. And this brokerage is, to me, known for being one of the cheaper brokerages out there. Just saying, if they wanted to, they could do something like that. I would never do business with this company on the brokerage side or the factoring side. But they're one of the big players. And they also try to get people pimping their fuel card, their garbage fuel card on YouTube. And they offered me a lot of money. It would have been a lot of money. When I sat down and did math, they were going to give me a piece of everybody's factoring. And I'm like, if I only get like 20 people on the factoring and like sell a few fuel cards, I'm like, that'd be like 20 grand a year just for practically nothing. If I'd worked at it, it'd be a lot more. I'm like, no, I still can't pimp your garbage because it makes me mad. Like, they shouldn't. I would think that, there's too much possibility for shenanigans there. That company should not. They should have to separate. They shouldn't be able to share information. I don't know if they do. I'm not saying they do. I'm saying that if they wanted to, it's exactly what they could do, and I wouldn't doubt it if that happens.
Right.
Yeah, be careful. People can be litigious. Be careful what you say.
Yeah.
I'd never accuse them of doing anything.
Right. I think that was vague enough also, like.
Never said anybody's name.
Right.
Oh, we got super chats. Trucker's assistant coach in the house. Thanks for coming in. Anyone needing a coaching call? Anyone need a coaching call? Hit up Trucker's assistant coach. $2 super chat. Apparently can't super chat like the real Trucker's coach. I'm guessing you won't get as good of valuable information as you would from the real Trucker's coach because you're only buying Trucker's assistant coach. But I'm guessing, though, he also learned everything he knows from Trucker's coach under his tutelage. So
Is that what
Go
that
ahead and
is?
hit him up. I don't know.
Is that what that is over there?
Yeah, it's tutelage. Thank you, Trucking with Diabetes, just for the tip for DIY. Thank you.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
So as you can see, shenanigans all over the trucking industry.
Yeah.
I don't know if people have never thought of that, what I just said, but why wouldn't they be as mad about? So okay, let me really piss some people off here. Think about what I just said, right? What a brokerage could do if they had that kind of information. Do you know what that information they have is called? You want to take a shot at it, Cash?
I have no idea.
That's your transparency.
Ah,
That's what can be done with that information. So you have to have every broker out here has to give up their freight rates. On a daily basis, people will cut each other's rate to get that freight. And the only one that's going to suffer for that is the driver. Think about all the possibilities before you go pushing something like this broker transparency. That is exactly it. That's what happens. They take the information and they cut the rate to take that freight away from another broker, and you will take it from you will take it from them at the rate that they have it for because they have the freight now. Did they get hurt? Hell no. They didn't get hurt a bit. They're still taking their percentage. You're going to get hurt because that rate just got cut because of transparency. Think about that for a good long time before you go demanding that. That is the first thing that will happen. It will drive the rates down. It'll be a race. People talk about that race to the bottom. That'll be stepping on the gas pedal. It's like stepping on the gas pedal. Sorry about your feelings. We lost Cash. That don't happen every day. I hope he comes back in. Hot Rod Dave, rates low, truck prices get low. Yes, it is happening. Here we go. Did I hurt your feelings? Are you in favor of that? Did
yes.
I hurt your feelings and you bounced on me?
Yes, I am anti-broker transparency all the way.
Okay.
I love broker. I love the games they play.
Oh, so what you're saying is if you think brokers play games, don't play with the brokers, right?
That was the title of a video till I realized it was not getting any views, and then it was not the title of a video.
See, folks, you got to understand. Sometimes you do things to get views.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to do things you don't believe in. What does it say? There are many things I shall say. Oh no. I never shall say what I don't believe, but I'll never. I don't know. I'll talk about it someday when I haven't been drinking. How about that? I shall never say what I don't believe. However it goes. Andy Dufresne didn't say it, so I'm not really into it. Oh. Am I frozen now? My damn chat's frozen.
Oh, I got you.
We back?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Back. Okay. I went all spinny wheel Jones there for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Trying to put a comment up and it won't work. There we go. Hot Rod Dave, have my authority, put it on pause a few years ago. Love to get out on my own truck again, but you have to have your ducks in a row or you'll lose your tuchus. It's a technical term. You can. You certainly can. So the last couple of years, you could wing it every day, all day. Didn't matter. Money everywhere. But, yeah, things tighten up. You got to tighten up. Rich Chicago says, in my opinion, it looks to me Apex realized they got hacked, so they pulled the plug and took an axe to the servers. Whew, hopefully they had them good backups. Hopefully.
You gotta hope, right?
Uh-huh.
That backup's becoming an important thing these days.
Wonder if a guy should invest in the infrastructure that. Come on. Ashley McGee saw a 2005 Kenworth with a C15 and the 13 speed for 15 grand. You could sell the motor for that amount. I wouldn't want a 2005 C15. A cert, dog.
If the only year I would do ACERT would be the last year, 07.
You definitely don't want like a. I had an 03 that was not an ACERT. It was a 6NZ. But late in 03, 04, you got them bridge motors. I think it was it the BXS or
Yeah.
I think it was the BXS was the serial number. You definitely don't want a bridge motor. That was the ones between the 6NZ and the ACERT, if I remember right, which I think I do. Gets my serial numbers mixed up, dog. Imagine that. Hot Rod Dave says I wouldn't pay 150K for a new truck. Yeah, can you believe paying 250K for a new truck? I just can't. I can't. Even the Megas. I mean, I'm sure they're not paying those prices, but can they support costs like that? I don't think so.
MBN was the bridge motor.
MBN. Okay. What was the BXS then? Maybe that was an ACERT.
I have no idea.
Or maybe I'm thinking of something completely different. Could have been a stock for all I know.
That's
Numbers and whatnot.
That's been too long ago for me to remember. I had an 07 ACERT and I did perfectly fine with it.
Dangerfield Trucking says I got my truck from Lone Mountain, 2016 Western Star, 246,000 miles, APU, refrigerator, $75,300, 5,000 down. God bless. That's a good price on a low mileage truck. T's and P's, Dangerfield Trucking. T's and P's. I know you got blessed. D&B Walker running a 2001 Volvo. Is that the Volvo with the Detroit in it? That was a killer truck. A Volvo with the Series 60. One of the best combinations ever. Dangerfield Trucking won a trophy at the Iowa 80 Truck Show.
Wow.
George Wilson says, I wonder if Freightliner still has the recondition program on select pre-owned trucks. You select the refurbished package and they send it back to the factory. I checked into that like 7 years ago. They were still doing it. You could order a new cab to your VIN number for like 40 grand, but that was a while ago. Trucker Gal says, why are companies producing new equipment when there's a concern about emissions? That's what they do. They make equipment. I mean, it's either that or lay everybody off and what have you.
Well, they're still selling them, so
yeah. Any depth shortage on the horizon? I haven't seen it. We went through a period where you'd see it spotty on the East Coast, but I haven't seen any problems with it. Don't know if that's going to come true or not. Have you seen any depth problems there?
It's localized. It might be one truck stop, but then you go down the road and they got death. So
okay. Oh, what do we got here? Gasman, $20 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it a lot. Where now did I lose my? Lost my spot. Justin says that Classic does 75 miles per hour at about 1,700. How you know that? You don't want to wind her up that tight.
Yeah, somebody can do the math on that. That'll tell you the rear ends. But oh wait, no, he said it was 355, right? Sorry.
I think that's what it said in the email.
I had a moment elapsed there.
Gasman saying, in a lease purchase, I can pay it off now. But if the economy goes south, I have no cash and a truck I can't use. 14 months to go, 2017, 680, in great shape, 530,000 miles. I mean, it's up to you. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong. Either you got a paid for truck or you're sitting on a stack of cash. It's always good to have a stack of cash. Times go tough. Cash. A good friend of mine says all the time, cash is king. You know that, man?
I do.
You should get a YouTube channel. Yeah, gas man, I don't think either way you can really go wrong. Don't short yourself, cash. Cash is always, if it took all your money to pay the truck off and you were left with 1,000 or less, I would tend not to.
My question would be, what's the benefit of paying it off early? How much are you going to save? Because if not, I hold the cash.
Yeah,
like,
especially if you're going to short yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to hold that title, but let's face it, if you're not saving, $1,000 in interest, look at the risk you're taking. Like when I bought my truck, it was like, pay out a bunch of cash or, let the bank take the risk of, the thing that happened in 2020 ruining everything. And then, like short term, long term, I would have still had to pay, but short term, I would have had a stack of cash to get through what was going on,
So are you saying buy your truck on credit cards? Is that what you're saying?
Let me think about that for a minute. Cash back, way up here.
30% interest? Not so much.
Not so much. I mean,
But I hear on YouTube the only thing that matters is to build that corporate credit, build that business credit. Wouldn't you be doing that?
That's true. That's true. Most definitely get that corporate credit. Buy stuff you don't even need. Corporate credit.
Make sure you're paying 30% to build your credit.
Right.
Kelly's Kitchen in the house says, just saw a 1984 359 Pete wheelbase 300-inch. Owner states motor trashed, huge hole in the side of block. Want to guess? $30,000. All original sleeper cabin hood though. Damn it.
Does it have a painted frame? Like, does the frame match the truck? That's very important to me.
Do you have to supply your own MUDFLAP brackets? Andrew says, worked for Maverick and they always have one chassis with a container full of glass out of Carlisle. Okay. Apparently TMC's in the Moffett business now. Yeah, Chicken Hawk says, Dave, you should pay that $150,000 for a truck. They're selling for $40,000 more. You could buy it and flip it. We gonna get in that business? We'll buy them for $150,000, flip them for $240,000. We'll buy them. Here's this. I have the perfect business plan. We're gonna buy them. We're gonna buy them right. We're gonna buy them in volume. Then we're gonna do YouTube videos about them, telling people how awesome they are. We're gonna paint the frame, and then we're gonna flip them for $249,000. I don't see how we can lose, personally.
Can we finance them through Apex?
We could. David Donaldson says, can't remember, but saw a video of a guy claiming the mega carriers are taking over the cheap freight that owner operators are refusing to do, like containers. Yeah, people say a lot of things, and people say a lot of things with nothing to back it up and no evidence. People know a lot of things, right?
Wait a minute, you said people say things with nothing to back them up. Are we talking about my channel?
I wasn't going to sit here and throw darts at you. Or myself. Yeah, Justin's going to have no trouble selling that truck. He's got people interested in right in here. Hot Rod Dave says, you might as well lease on if you're going to factor. Yeah, here's the thing, though. It's something I've learned. I never factored as a small trucking company, with just me or whatever. I never factored one load up till even I started adding trucks. And then I started adding trucks, and it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't really have to factor, but with rates the way they are and as much money as I'm putting out, I might have to throw one at the factoring company here and there just to keep up with the float, because there was I think my biggest month last year on receivables, I had like $279,000 for 1 month in receivables waiting to get paid. Well, I'm only freaking one man. I mean, I can only pay so much out. So I factored one load. I signed up with a factoring company. I factored one load, and that was it. I mean, I still signed up with them, I don't use it, but it's there if I need it in case we ever get, you have multiple equipments. You could have 3 reefers go down in 1 month, hit some big freight bills, fuel goes sky high. You can have big, when you guys start dealing with big numbers, you can have big swings. Don't think it's a bad idea to be signed up. Just pick one that you are not obligated to factor every single load. Some of them are like that. If you sign up, you must factor every load. Don't sign up with one of those. Sign up ones when you can pick and choose.
How would one go about finding a good factoring company?
Well, in light of all the things we've been through with factoring companies here lately going broke or pulling some shenanigans, at least make sure you pick one that's regulated. Pick one that's owned by a bank. There's a few of them out there. I like Triumph. That's who I'm signing up with. Their process is great. They got a great payment system. I actually have everything for the brokerage runs through Triumph. They guarantee our credit, so they have a great payment system to the carriers, and they're owned by a bank, so they are regulated. There's a link in the description below all my videos for Triumph. Call Ashley, tell her I sent you, and then they'll get you set up. They do different programs depending on how many trucks, how much freight you're going to factor, blah blah blah. They have recourse, non-recourse. They'll custom a program to you. So
yeah, that's what I was asking. Where's that link at? Because I don't like doing research and thinking. I just, like if I just wanted to say, I just want to click a link and have DIY do all the work for me.
Yeah, there's a link and a phone number and the lady's name in all my descriptions.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good information.
If people sign up, I am supposed to get something for it. I have to disclose that. I have not yet received a penny. I would have no way of knowing if somebody signed up unless they told me. So, but I'm supposed to get like a referral fee. But I would tell you, even if I didn't, I think I told people about them before I even had that deal with them. So, whatever, whichever. Bob says, I will not factor. Sorry, not paying anyone for my hard work to get paid. Yeah, actually, I talked about that in a video not long ago. Like, I don't even recommend that as your first choice. And if you do have to factor, try to work your way off it. Because, the percentage over a year ends up being a lot. And you have to pay that percentage on every dollar. How about a line of credit with your bank where you pay that rate as an APR instead of on every dollar? If you get a credit line at your bank for $100,000 or $50,000 or something, you pay 4% annually instead of 4% on every load. Not everybody can qualify for that, but you can work. You don't just because you factor. You got to factor your whole life or every single trade. You changed your name to Trade Lines Are King. What does that mean?
Corporate credit, dog. Gotta have some trade lines. That's the new buzzword. Okay. Trade lines.
All right. Once again, Trucker's Assistant Coach TV and Trucking with Diabetes. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate that. Makes it all worth it, folks. Makes it all worth it. David Donaldson says, I factor with them and I've never hauled their loads because all their loads suck and their card sucks too, but they're giving me a good rate. Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you know. But do you see, David? So you see how they have that information, right? Like they know every other broker in the country. This place knows their business. They know what they're moving freight for. So you can understand the kind of information they have.
That could lead to some monkey business, if you want to call it that. Like,
hey, not saying I wouldn't do it too, but you would think if they have all that information, they're not real good at using it because they should be a lot. Even though they're big, they should be a lot bigger than they are. Dangerfield Trucking says, on their second factoring company, I think they're a joke. Just don't have enough capital to wait 30 days. Yeah, you work up to it, man. Like I said, there's no evil in factoring if you have to. You get in where you fit in, but you just over the course of time, you work your way to where you want to be. It's not when I first started with my authority, I didn't factor because I could float it. And then on top of that, I made sure I had a line of credit. But not everybody can start there. So you start how you got to start. Just watch what you're signing. Because I'm sure you know if you're on your second factoring company, depending on what you signed on the first one, it might have been hard to get out of. Some of them things, man, they got you. They got you. Grade 8 says, Chicken Hawk, I know you're rolling new trucks every year. What's your thoughts on trailers? We're going to have that discussion here. Trucking across America, what's the best MUDFLAP code? Funny you should ask. Let's see here. I have it in my banners here somewhere, don't I? Here we go, right here. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's DIY Semi. Save huge on fuel. DIY SEMI. Download that MUDFLAP app. This is the part in the commercial where I smile and then I get a glimmer off my teeth, like on TV. Cash, did you transport to vacation land? That's a nice green screen you got there. Looks like a Freightliner. Looks like you might fake being in a Freightliner.
This
Plastic
is
truck.
This is the green screen. The high-rise apartment on the beach. You know, I forgot and I turned the Freightliner green screen off. Sorry.
Okay. Michael Anderson says, freight trucking? I don't know. I sent him a link. He must be in bed. He's got a link. He chose not to use it.
He's over there putting oil in that beard.
Oh, I got private chat. What's all that? Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, that was... Corporate credit is king. Had to bow out for a second. He'll be back. He'll be back, folks. Where did I leave off with the chat here? It jumped on me. YouTube's got to do something about this chat. Skinny Peter's in the house. Thanks for coming in. Do you and Cash think Reefer will continue to stay more consistent on rates than dry van? Here's the thing. It's going to be different all over different parts of the country because Reefer is seasonal, largely. Up by me, there's certain things that move all the time. Cheese. But then we have a produce season. Everybody, all your border towns have produce. Colorado, you got states with apples and cherries. Michigan, Washington, Florida has a nursery. You got nursery seasons all over the place. So Reefer is always all over the place. As far as volumes, everybody said the thing people say about Reefer is, oh, people always got to eat. Well, that doesn't mean that freight makes it to the spot market. Back in when we were in the shutdowns, there wasn't a lot of freight, and what there was, it didn't pay good. So yeah, people got to eat, but it doesn't mean they're going to move it through the spot market or on your trailer. Van, hey, it's taking a beating right now. Taking a beating. And things are probably going to be soft for a while here till this, number one, this capacity shakes itself out of the market. There is just an enormous amount of capacity in the spot market right now. We have, without getting into, you all know what's going on in the world and the economy. Like, we're probably headed into some really soft times. And that's going to translate into the freight market. So as far as if you're saying, hey, when do things get better? It's going to be a while. I don't think, if you're looking around and really putting the effort in, putting the work in, you're going to find stuff to keep you going, to occupy. And if you're willing to work, there's still a lot of that out there right now. But it's going to be a while. We got to shake some problems out here. Economically also. Thanks again, Gas Man, for $20 super chat. People having discussions about trailers in the chat. That's pretty good. Pretty good discussions go on in this chat, man. Proud of y'all. Oh, Gabriel wants to know, Cash, how was your dinner in hell at the Country Pride? We're going to have to remind me to ask him when we come back in. Yeah, Michael, MBN was the C-15 bridge. Yep, you're right. Cash got that straighten me out on that one. 6NZ was the last good cat. Yeah, I had one. Back then, I didn't know what I had, and I sold it. I'd probably still be running. It was in the Freightliner Columbia, though. It was in a 2003 Columbia. And when I sold it, it had 1,000,000 miles on it in 2007. I think I sold it. I can imagine that truck still being on the road today. Probably still is in Russia or Mexico, though. Like, I know I sold it to an exporter, so I know it ain't in this country anymore. I tell you what, that was a great truck. Kick myself. Best is Acert. I strongly disagree with that, sir. Acert had its share of problems. I worked for a company for a brief period of time that the Acert motor almost put that company out of business. It changed the way they buy trucks forever. They used to run exclusively Kenworths and Peterbilts. When the Acert motor came out, they were so troublesome and expensive to fix, it almost put them out of business. They said, we will never own all one kind of truck again. And they diversified out, and they own pretty much everything. They own, Kenworth, Kenworth, Volvos, Freightliners. But they're loving their. I tell you what, I give a lot of credit to that company. They keep amazing statistics on trucks, and their favorite trucks right now are the Volvos. They said they have the lowest mean downtime. Number one, because they don't have as much problems with them. Number two, when they do go in for work, they're out of the shop faster, and they're killing it on the fuel economy. And the drivers like them. But it's the downtime thing that turns them on, and the fuel economy. Trucking with Velox coming in. Ooh. But it's the Velox 18 though. We're looking for 19.0.
Yeah.
What's their opinion on Taco John's trying it for the first time tonight? Apparently Velox 18 is an alien from another planet. Never had Taco John's before tonight. Do you believe that, Cash, or do you believe that's a setup?
I don't know. What is your take on Taco John's?
1 star higher than Taco Bell? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
6-pack and a pound every day, all day. Don't see a lot of Taco John's out there anymore. Used to be all over. Where did you go for a second? Did you have a transaction to partake in?
Yeah, I had to run to the restroom on a transaction. I'm about 2 deep on these Gatorades right now, and bladder's only so big, I guess.
Oh, did you have an empty bottle?
I just enjoy drinking out of this DIY semi mug so much.
I don't know how you couldn't. I can even see the shiny spot where you licked it.
It really improves your hydration. Like if you want to focus on hydration, this is the way to do it. I'm just saying. And I love it. It says, have a nice cup of shut the up.
Ooh, it says that.
Yeah.
What would you do if you drank out of that and you spilled it all over your Damn It Boy t-shirt from Cash's King Trucking?
I'd have to go, hashtag damn it boy.
You would. You wouldn't even have to. It already says it on the shirt.
Am I the only person that goes around saying hashtags and like verbally? And I'll be honest, I've been doing this since like 2015. The kids absolutely hate it. They're like, you know, because I got it from Twitter, you know, hashtag everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we sit down to dinner and be like, hashtag macaroni and cheese, hashtag, you know, Salisbury steaks, you know, like, you know, what, are you retarded? And I'd be like, maybe. I never was tested.
What about it? That's a hateful word.
Yeah, I was never tested.
It's hashtag hateful.
Oh, you see, this was 5 years ago when you could say that.
Oh, okay. George Wilson wants to know, anyone know when Trucking Answers will be off hiatus? I do not know about the Trucking Answers. Cash, you two are besties. What's going on with Trucking Answers?
I ain't heard nothing out of Mark. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say won the state lottery, retired.
Ooh. By
Took
won the state lottery, you mean get put in a government-assisted nursing home? Fell and broke a hip?
Yeah, went to the DMV, slipped and fell, bam, state lottery.
Thought that was the Walmart.
Well, that ain't the state lottery,
Oh,
That's
okay. It's like winning the tobacco lawsuit.
yeah, exactly.
Marty St. Amour, where do you guess fuel prices is a year from now? Ooh, one moment. Let me shake my crystal ball here, and I'm gonna give you a solid. By crystal ball, I mean Gatorade bottle.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? That's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about that. So let's think this through. I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't see them any cheaper than they are right now, because I can't see anything that would cause that on the horizon. Anything to yeah, people hate when I talk about this. They tell me how wrong I am all the time. Anything to be meaningful to bring fuel prices down, like, drilling, exploration, a change in policy, those things all take time. So between now and next year, we're not a fast acting society on that level, or government. I don't see them any lower. I could actually really see them about the same as they are now, but a little higher. I think it's gonna be skyrocketing, like $10 a gallon, $9 a gallon. No, I don't think so. I think it's more of the same, but probably just, I don't know. Maybe we settle in around that $5 mark. High, really high fours, low fives, somewhere between like 4.75, 5.25. But between now and that time, we have a lot of volatility. Just because of who knows what this crazy World War III possibility, right? But absent any of that, I think we're largely about the same as what we are.
I think somewhere between now and then, I 100% agree with you. We'll be within probably 50 cents of where we are right now, up or down a little bit. But I think somewhere in between, you're going to see like a $7 a gallon.
Like, yeah, something will happen. Yeah,
they're going to pinch you hard. That way, when they reel it back to $6, you'll be like, only $6 now. Hooray!
That's what they just did to us. Yeah. Push it all the way up to $6.50. So when we get back to $4.50, it don't seem so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget, we got some elections coming up. Y'all know how they like to play with that stuff before an election. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or is it the September surprise, or is it the October surprise? It's the October surprise, isn't it? Who knows what that is this year? So we'll have our events between now and then. Wait till winter. Wait till we got to go back on winter fuel. You know what? Wait till we haven't gone through a winter with these fuel prices yet, when everybody's fuel mileage drops off like a rock. Uh-huh. So what are we, $5.50 a gallon at, a mile per gallon less than you're getting now? That's gonna hurt.
I had a guy saying that he had a W900, and he said, well, hey, at 65 mile an hour right now, I'm getting 6.8 miles per gallon. And I was like, it's kind of like the best time of year for fuel economy. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and some trucks are affected a lot more by that winter fuel than others. I know yours isn't. How much do you fall off? I think you said about a half mile per gallon, right?
Yeah, about 3/4. Just depends on, a lot of factors, but I can expect about a 3/4 drop.
These Max, they fall hard, a mile per gallon. They fall hard for the winter, so maybe I'll see if a couple of them want to play with some winter fronts or something this year to even some of that out with that extreme cold.
I am a fan of my winter front. I use it. I use it per what Freightliner says, and also I don't idle till probably like 0 degrees.
Yeah,
I got a damn good bunk heater, and I close them curtains and I get under them blankets, and I also that helps.
Yeah, we could stop right there. We don't need to know what goes on under the blankets.
Well, I was gonna tell you, I was gonna give you
You make your own
tips,
heat, don't you?
some tips to make your own heat, but if
Friction
you
and
don't,
whatnot. Oh, brother Craig, late again. Damn it, boy. Bill Beasley says second quarter next year, probably a good time to buy equipment, I'm guessing. Yeah, who knows? Like we're saying, I think we see a big difference between a super large gap between new and used, probably bigger than we've ever seen. And then the gap between dealer, used, and auction prices. I don't know. These auctions are getting flooded, man. They're getting flooded. So
one thing I will say about that, though, and I've been looking into a lot of the auction prices and what's going on with them right now, is a lot of that stuff going to auction is just absolutely done and over with.
yeah,
Like 800, 900,000 mile, trucks. And it's like, yeah, the prices are down because they're,
used up. They need to go to export. Is where they need to step up the export market.
yeah.
Or maybe they don't need equipment either. Who knows?
It's true.
Red Jeb says, add the factoring fee with your cost of pulling the load. That way you won't feel so bad. If you can do that, do that. I still feel bad. I still feel like I'm giving them money. To see that deduction, it'll still hurt. I'd be like, I could have kept that.
Anytime you call on a load, tell the broker, say, well, I got to factor this, so I'm going to need you to pay me an extra 2.5%.
You successful in doing that?
Never. But I mean, even if you don't factor, tell them you need it,
Yeah, just try to tell them my grandma's sick. I don't know. I need some Viagra. My grandma's sick.
Ooh, that's a hell of a family.
Is that not working?
I don't know what's going on in that family, but man, they ought to make a website for that.
GrannyViagra.com.
Oh man!
How much percent they take from the load for factoring? Depends. They're all different. Some take more, some and there's different kinds of factoring. So you want recourse, you want non-recourse. What you want? You want to put a fuel card with that. You want a personal loan. You want them to paint your house. A lot of them, and I'm not dodging your question, but the fact of the matter is, a lot of them customize anymore.
Let's say like
2%. I mean, unless you have a lot of trucks, you're not going to get below 2%.
There you go.
You got, if you're pushing 50, 100 trucks, they might bring you down to 1% factoring.
Let me get an example from you. One guy, one truck, average owner operator, 30 grand a month.
Probably 2.5 to 3, low 3 for recourse.
Damn.
Probably you probably be pretty well consistent. Could find 2%. Now you might find 2% from a company, but you got to check that company out. Make sure they are not shady. Make sure they are financially sound and ideally owned by a bank. What good does it do? All these people that just got burned from core funding. Good did it do them to get a low factoring rate? They're sitting without their money. It could be a long, long time before they get it, if they get it.
Yeah.
So, get the best mix of everything you can get. It's like you don't buy everything from Walmart. Sometimes you go to the dollar store to shop it around. I'm just saying.
That's true.
RBK in the house. Thanks for coming in. RBK. Oh, so RBK turned me on to this Cummins. I had heard about it, never looked into it. Cummins has a filtration. You can buy Cummins filters on a program, get a really good price. They have not reached back to me yet. I'm struggling with that to find anybody that cares enough to talk to me about it. But I'm still working on it because I'd like to get myself on that. They give substantial discounts on filters on their program, so I want to get on that. So I haven't given up RBK. It's probably gonna take a while, and I don't know if it's the rep not doing their job or I don't know who's not doing their job, but somebody's not doing it. I should follow up on that again next week. Oh, by the way, Paul's coming on for a live show tomorrow. So if you want to predictions on the future, he's the man for that. We'll have to cut it off at 10 years into the future, though.
What time is that going to be?
We're shooting for 2 p.m. Central.
Okay.
He got something he wants to talk about, so I don't know what it is yet. So he's a man of great deep thought. Yep. Fate Truckin' says, we truckin' Maine. We truckin' Maine. Okay.
You know what I always say? Keep on trucking.
You do always say that. Been saying it for years.
Got it on a damn hat. Come on.
Oh, man. Hot Rod Dave says, love the conversation, guys. Hit the like button. Yeah, that's great advice. I should hit my own like button. How about that? 88 watching, 43 likes. Damn it, boy.
I always hit my like button. Yeah, that like button, it don't cost nothing, guys. Just throwing it out there. Just you know.
That super thanks button costs something though on them videos though.
Well,
hey, doesn't mean you shouldn't use it.
You know. Are you being entertained right now? Like,
if you are, sorry about your life. It's really boring.
Yeah, okay.
Chicken Hawk says, am I doing my live from a Hindo bathroom? I was, but now I went Japanese bathhouse on you. I need the salt to purify and detoxify. RBK says, got $8,075 from Augusta, Georgia to Thermal, California, and back from Commerce, California to Lincoln, Nebraska for $4,100. 3,900 miles total, 12K a week. Seems okay, but feels like I'm hauling cheap after 2021. Yeah, but okay, so quick math, because my math, 12,000, 3,900 miles, 307 a mile. Hey, you can make a damn good living the rest of your life at that.
Yeah.
With these, considering, things stayed the same. Obviously, they go up, they change, whatever, but a lot of you older guys, you know what rates and miles and lanes were before the big C word happened. We went through all that. Man, I don't know what's going on, but have you seen this? Like, guys on YouTube saying in the comments or in videos, oh, rate sucks, so I basically took a load to cover fuel at $2.50 a mile. I'm like, you telling me that $2.50 a mile is only covering your fuel? Because number one, either you got some real issues with your truck, or could I introduce you to one of these?
Yeah.
Could we put one of these in your life? Calculator.
Do you have a hole in your fuel tank? Did you forget to put the caps back on it when you fuel it? Are you just riding around sloshing it out on the ground? Like,
yeah, $2.50 a mile is not fuel money.
No.
I mean, so you got a bad fuel economy truck, and say we'll say $5 per gallon, and you're gonna get 5.5 miles per gallon. That's 91 cents a mile. 2.5 minus 91 cents is you're still trucking for $1.59. Now, granted, you got probably some payments and insurance and maintenance. You ain't having a $1.59 and all that. You shouldn't. You should be well under the 59 cents for everything else. Still be $1 a mile in your pocket.
Possibly that $2.50 a mile is maybe they're getting a percentage of that.
Okay, I'll give you that, but then your fixed expenses are lower if you're leased onto somebody.
Right.
Insurance and so forth. I'm just saying, like, don't let people rope you into that emotion.
Yeah.
Like 250 miles, just a load to cover fuel. Is it what you want? No, most certainly not. But hey, we can't always. I think somebody said, great philosopher, you can't always get what you want.
Mm.
Joe Little, near and dear to my heart, $4.99 super chat. I miss the old Magic Dragon restaurants that were in the Flying J's. It gave me the same burn as Lotzer sweat. The Magic Dragons and the Flying J's are largely responsible for my weight predicament I'm in today. When I first started driving, I could not get enough of that crap. Oh man, did I hit them hard? You remember that, Cash?
Love them. Love them. That's the reason I gained about 80 pounds my first year of trucking.
Yeah, man, we used to have real food in the truck stops. Oh man, there was food everywhere. Now there's none to be found, but we're still overweight.
I don't know. There's a Popeye's chicken in every truck stop I go in these days, so it's there if you want it.
Michael Anderson wants to know why I'm hating on the bridge motor. Haven't had many things besides a bad head gasket problem, but I have one. I just know people that had problems. Just saying. I would probably, well, I don't know if I'd take that over the later A-certs. I don't know. It don't matter. I'm old. My memory fails me. Thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. My guest is VLOX 20.3. That is VLOX from the future. He has a channel. Check him out. Chicken Hawk says, Cash is loving that DIY mug. I just don't know how he can put his lips so close to my face. Hey, come on now. He's trying to feel the burn. RBK put some 40 ounces of friction lamer in his 44 quarts of oil. Let's see how it goes.
Not a
That'll
bad
help you on
idea.
that cross-country trip. What else we got here? Mechanic J says, fuel prices. I would recommend purchasing an electric truck. I thought about doing that just for the content. Just buying the damn thing, running local loads with it. Wouldn't care if hopefully, probably give me so much content, maybe I can make enough on the content to pay for the damn truck, but I still don't want one. I don't want to be the first for anything. Well, you know, you want to be first at the Magic Dragon at the Flying J. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be 15 deep at the line at the buffet.
Right. Or at the manhole. Hot Rod Dave has all Max straight trucks and tractors. Yeah, we got a few. I like them. I was just working on one today. I did a full service on it. Finish it tomorrow. It was hot today. Then it rained like hell. But a few more things I'm gonna do on it. Kind of digging it. If I can get rid of the cat pee smell in it. Ooh, Grade 8 Transportation says, I filled up yonder today this afternoon, drove 170 miles. Dash was showing 11.2 miles per gallon when I parked. The best I've ever seen with a load. Damn it.
Tasty jam right there.
With an electric truck, you'll have to choose between high fuel prices or charge time. Can I get half and half on that? Paul Harris says, under that blanket, you should rub those thighs together like a cricket. Make your own heat. And the friction would be your mating call. JD Jeff says, send those used trucks to Smyrna. Does he mean Smyrna, Tennessee?
Or Smyrna, Georgia, maybe?
We'll split them up just to cover all our bases. Hot Rod Dave says this market looks like a lot like 08 through 11. High fuel prices, crap load prices, and you know who was in the office. I'll tell you who's in the office. Where'd my office go? Can't find. There it is. I'm in the office.
Ooh.
I'm running. Get me on the ballot. I guarantee a win. Fake Truckin's goatee says beard game strong. That avatar kills me. Oh, I haven't laughed that hard in hours. Joe Little again with this $4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Dangerfield says, how do you find your rate per mile? You have fixed costs, truck payments, etc. Please share it to the classroom. Oh, Cash talks about this every week, so we'll cover it again, right? We like to keep track separately of fixed cost and variable cost, right, Cash?
Yes.
Do you want to share with the class what you include in your category for fixed costs, and then what you include in your category for variable, or as you like to call it, veritable costs?
Veritable, with very good reason I call it that.
Okay.
But you know, truck, insurance, those are going to be your main fixed cost.
Permits, license plate, 2290.
You'll have other things you put in there, but you know, your variable costs are going to be diesel, reefer, if you pull a reefer trailer. If not, if you pull a flatbed, it could be, you know, whatever. But what else you got? Tolls,
Maintenance.
scales. Yeah.
Maintenance, repairs.
I actually have that more on, I guess it would be variable. I do a cents per mile on maintenance.
Right, but that's what you set aside, not what you spend. Your actual cost. So yeah, Dangerfield, we kind of like we track it all. I have, well, let me tell you. So I have, this is my binder. This is my actual binder I take in the truck with me, and I categorize my receipts as I get them. Let me tell you what my categories are. Fuel, maintenance, insurance, and I have one called taxes and licenses. That would be like my license plate, my 2290, like my weight distance taxes I pay quarterly. Then I have one for scales and tolls, fees and dues. That would be like the load board, any dues you pay or fees, stuff like that. I have office. Then I have supplies, one for phone and utility, lumpers, accounting and professional services, and that would go accounting, and then like drug testing, things like that. And then this does not get calculated into my cost per mile. I kind of keep this separate. I have a folder for large ticket items that I'm going to depreciate instead of deduct. So that's kind of what I do. And the cost for those depreciable items gets calculated in, but I don't like it to go on any 1 month's numbers. I want it to be spread out. But, and then, so we track all them, and then inside of that, we'll say, okay, these are fixed and these are veritable. And there you have it, your cost per mile. So for cost per mile, you would take, for a given period of time, say the month of January, all the miles you ran, and then all the money you could do received or generated, however you want to do it. It averages out over time. You can, and then, you know, keep track of those numbers. And over a period of time, you get a average cost per mile. Your numbers might look really wonky in month, like 1 month, because maybe in January you bought a turbo and a set of injectors, right? It's going to make your maintenance costs look sky high. Then you might not have any large ticket maintenance for the next 6 months. So as you can see, it'll come down over time. It's going to average out. So I like to look, when I'm looking at my average cost per mile, I like to say, what was it for the last year? And then inside of that, I say, what was it last month? Because then if it's high last month, I want to look at my categories and see, where was I high? Did I piss away a bunch of money somewhere? Or was it just high because that's, you know, what my cost came out to be?
Right. And a lot of people factor in different things. You know, it really, you have to come up with your own personal, what you consider your cost per mile.
Yeah.
Some people factor in personal stuff. Some people,
I think that's a mistake. There's no business in this world that factors in their personal expenses into a business cost. They just don't. Keep track of them, keep them separately, but keep them out of your business. Your cost to buy deodorant is not because you drive a truck. Hopefully you were going to do it anyway. Where are you? Are you in Cape Cod or are you on a bag of potato chips?
I'm over here at the beach house, just saying, chilling.
Okay. Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod is one of the two. Trucking with Velox 18 has a channel. It is not the Velox 20.3 that is on the screen now. It's a different channel. $2.59 per mile on 10,000 miles per month, and I can pay for my fairly expensive lifestyle. I only complain because I don't want to truck 10,000 miles a month. LOL. 25,000 a month. Tell us about that fairly expensive lifestyle. You cut your lawn with a scissors. We need to have Velox 18 on more. He's probably driving. If you're not driving, tell me. I'll send you the link. I need to know about that luxurious lifestyle you're living down there in the Tennessee. RBK says very hard to negotiate with brokers these days. You ask for a little money and they would hung up right away. Yeah, if somebody hangs up on me, I ain't doing business with them. They could at least say, I'm sorry, I can't, or no. No reason for people to be hanging up on each other. It's unprofessional. George Wilson's got a bounce. $2 a mile is a good rate as long as fuel is under $2. It's all relative. It's all relative. RBK says my fixed expense is 18% out of my gross. I can survive $1.50 a mile. I just don't want to live in my beautiful truck for little money. Yeah, I get that, and a lot of people feel that way. And there's a lot of people bouncing out right now because of that. But here's the thing. Nothing lasts forever. You survive, you get through, and then you know what? When things go back to if things go back to like they were at some point, the last 2 years, you are in the catbird seat to make a boatload of money. And all these people that bounced out are going to be scrambling. Oh, I got to get back in, and then they're going to come back in and ruin the market. And then when it gets good, when it turns, they're gonna bounce out again. And they're the ones that, we all like. You're gonna hang in there. You're gonna get through it, and you're gonna make good money. But the outliers that bounce in and out, like it makes things more difficult.
True. That's what they do, though. It's like they only want it when it's hot.
Did I say $2? I didn't say $2 a mile. I said $2.50 a mile. Everybody's saying I said $2 a mile. Did I say $2 a mile? Or did I say $2.50 a mile? I think I remember saying $2.50 a mile.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Smyrna is the new Ukraine. Apparently now Ukraine is in Tennessee. Just saying.
I believe anything these days.
Okay, so here's the thing. Private one's upset with me for $2 a mile. Says who can survive on $2 per mile? So Cash, let's talk about who can survive on $2 per mile. Are you down with that? Are you done with this?
No, I'm fine with it.
Because I think we would share a similar opinion on this, right? You're a little better at telling it like it is, so you go first.
$2 a mile would suck right now. I mean,
it would suck, but is it unsurvivable? Did I lose you?
Spinny wheel for a second there. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Oh, you cracked me up, man. Crack me up.
I just opened that. You know that window in the back of your truck? I just open it up. Who knows what's going on back there? Oh, wait a minute.
You took the towel down off your window, and now we can see what's really going on.
I'm just saying, check for an Adam's apple on this one.
Yeah.
On this one right here. But yeah, $2 a mile would suck right now. Equipment's too damn expensive. Fuel's too damn expensive. Maintenance is too damn expensive. $2 a mile is like it's not a long term business plan. I can say that.
Right, but is $2 a mile forever? We go ups and we go downs, right?
Right.
Plus, is there an opportunity, to make more? So, if everything is $2 a mile, is everything $2 a mile? Is there opportunities to earn more?
Yeah, there's opportunity, but the question is, in this current environment, if fuel was $2 a gallon, it'd be a different story.
Right.
If trucks were somewhat reasonably priced, it'd be a little bit of a different story. Now, I think you should be able to. You should be real close at $2 a mile to being somewhat profitable.
It's survivable.
Yeah,
you should be able to survive it for a period of time. Forever? No, probably not forever. That's not going to happen. But okay, the question is, who can survive on $2 a mile? So the people that can survive on $2 a mile are the people that ran a damn tight business for a very long time, did very smart things. When freight rates were sky high, did not go balling out, spending a ton of money, buying expensive houses and jacked up pickup trucks and building a lifestyle that required that kind of money to support it. People who, even when fuel was dirt cheap, ran the damn best fuel efficient operation they could. And people who bought smart trucks, bought them smartly, paid them off, and have an extremely low cost of operation. That's who can survive on $2 per mile. Did I say they're going to prosper and profit and be great for the long term? No, but they're going to survive and they're going to come out the other side because they're damn smart, hardworking business people. There might be a little bit of luck involved. Trucks doesn't break down, this and that. But that's who can survive on $2 a mile.
Right.
Am I saying they should or they have to or this is going to last forever? No. Or that, hey, we should not try to get any better? No. But that's who. You seem very upset, Private One. So I'm answering your question because you put a lot of questions here. So I'm giving you the respect and answering it.
Yeah.
Probably disagree. That's why owner operators. So we'll go through some of them. That's why owner operators end up broken with a junk piece of truck. If you let it happen. Hey, I seen people. You know what? Screw that. Because when freight rates were $7 a mile, I put up a short of some guy running a busted ass truck down the road with 18 bald tires, every fluid leaking all over the damn place, pissing air like a madman, and I should mind, no, that freight rates justified fixing that, and they chose not to. So people run busted ass trucks down the road, even when there's a fortune to be made in trucking. So no, I won't agree with that. Credit card is maxed up. If you live the credit, if you do credit cards, I make no apologies for where I'm at. I worked damn hard to get here, and I paid a lot of sacrifices to put myself in this financial situation. So I ain't maxing up my credit cards because I've been saving for this rainy day for a very long time. So, hey, there's people that will survive. Hey, truck can come in here, playing the fiddle, making fun of me. What do you got to say for yourself?
No, the thing is, I agree with everything you're saying. I trucked for fuel today, a whole $3.50 a mile. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I'm just devastated.
So
I agree.
You trucked for 20 years before you got in when the situation was right. Yeah, if you jumped in to be part of the gold rush and didn't prepare for it, put yourself in a great situation, a lot of people are going to fall off. It's how things work. Do I
Well,
encourage it? I think it's great. No, but it's life. People fall
I
out of
like
everything.
I liked what you said a while ago. Maybe it was like an hour ago. How you were talking about when you started your business and your carrier, you kind of had things lined up. You went to your bank, you got a line of credit. You wanted to operate a certain way. I did kind of the very like similar things. I made sure I had money. I prepared for it. So many people just jumped in. You know what I mean? And didn't really understand like the longevity. If they wanted this to be longevity, they didn't understand that they, like me, I got lucky. I'll admit it. I bought a truck, paid it off quick. I decided to take the leap at the precise right time. But I'm also like wise in the fact of knowing that it wasn't always going to stay that way. And I mean, I had you two telling me that too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but you listened. Like I give you, like both of us, right? Cash, we both give this guy just a rash of shit. Like we hammer you every day, all day. We all know that. Everybody knows that. But when I have to give you credit, I have to give you credit. You listened and you freaking did it. And how'd it turn out for you?
I'm happy.
Good.
I don't have any complaints.
Better be, you're fired. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, man, there's, the bottom line is there's just so much negative on YouTube about trucking right now. Is a lot of it justified? Yeah, it is. But gosh damn, it's going to go on. Like it existed before all this. It's going to exist after all this.
We just talked about this last night. This exact topic. And I don't want to share like what I think is what I would let. I know that if I'm hauling freight at a certain dollar amount, which some people might look at hauling cheap, like I'm hauling cheap freight, but if I can haul at this certain number and haul it steady year round, like that's not me hauling cheap freight. That's me operating a business that continues to grow because I understand the environment that I'm in. I'm not expecting to hit home runs every single load. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm actually optimistic about the immediate future for us. I think some real positive things are happening for where we've put ourselves in the situation.
I think, let me say one more thing, and then I'll jump off, unless you guys want me to
stay in here. We need somebody beat up on for a while.
I just want to share an experience I had today. I made a delivery today at a big distribution center in Mankato, Minnesota.
Well, that gave it away.
Yeah. Nobody's going to know what that was.
This particular broker's Raycon was pretty damn big. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of steps that the driver had to follow. Whether I wanted to get paid on time, if I wanted detention, all these steps that it told me to follow. And I followed every single one. I made one phone call 5 minutes before 2 hours showed up, and the lady that answered said, "Great, thank you for following the rules. Nobody ever does, blah, blah, blah." Well, then I called again because I had a short on the load. And I said, "Hey, per your Raycon, it tells me I need to call you and notify you about this." Here's her exact words. There are truck drivers. There are professional business owner operators. She goes, "You qualify as a professional." She's like, "I am dealing with an issue of a guy that made a delivery at 7 o'clock this morning. It was 6 o'clock Central Time, PM, when I called her, that I just found out his load's messed up. That happened at 7 o'clock in the morning today, and the guy never called." Like, yes, I get all the stuff on YouTube. I get the low rates, but some of the responsibility falls on us when we sign the contract. That Raycon is now a contract. We need to follow all the steps that are on that Raycon, even though it's tedious and boring. It's our job. Like, we signed to do that.
When she called you a professional business owner, did she understand that you were wearing flip-flops at the time?
No flip flops. No flip
Good
flops.
boy.
Those are meant for the shower.
Oh. Okay.
I was in basketball shorts. I'll tell on myself. I wore basketball shorts today because I'm lazy and wanted to wear basketball shorts.
Okay.
That's where it starts, I've heard.
Yeah.
Where does it end?
Crocs and socks.
Those knee-high ones?
Uh-huh.
RBK wonders if prices for parts could ever go back, or it's the new normal. I don't think they go back to where they were. Once they get us used to it, no.
Yeah.
May go down, run some sales. We'll run some sales to get them in here. Put things on sale. That's how we'll sell it. Mechanic J says not everyone's a business owner. I agree. Bill Beasley says he's got a cost per mile under $1. Well done, Bill Beasley. So you know what I'm saying. Like, you've worked. If you got a cost per mile under $1, you worked hard at it. You put some effort in. Like, you squeezing that money. So good for you.
My peanut butter and jelly budget puts me over $1.
Well, just make your own instead of buying them damn $7 Uncrustables.
But they're so convenient.
They are. And delicious. Never had one of those things.
What are they?
I like to get them about 4 at a time and mush them together,
Oh.
Some store-bought peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, I know. With no crust on them, right?
Yeah. Fate Trucking, is your cost per mile under $1 per mile?
No. Nope.
Is
Go ahead.
Bill pay himself out of that dollar, or is that on top?
I don't know. I'm guessing that's just straight cost without pay.
Right.
I actually kind of like to figure it both ways. I like to figure it just straight cost without my wages figured in, and then I add that separately, because I want to know, like, before my pay, and then obviously my pay, and then what it is after my pay. So I kind of want to know all the different ways. But cost per mile though too. So your truck payment, if you gotta say your whatever truck payment is 25 cents a mile. If you're the type of guy that runs a truck, pays it off, keeps it a while, you can stretch that money over more miles. Suddenly, when the truck's paid for, it's not on your cost per mile anymore. If you amortize it out over the total time you own the truck, you're probably going to find that actual cost for that truck is a lot less per mile than what you think, because you just, after it's paid for, you stop figuring it in. But really, you understand what I'm saying? That total cost for owning the truck might, instead of 25 cents a mile, it might be 16 cents a mile if you amortize it over the entire time you own it, instead of just the duration that you have the loan. So if you're figuring it that way, yes, your cost per mile is going to look lower also. Ooh, Chicken Hawks, $1.65 with no wages pay, hard cost. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. See, that's the thing. We got a lot of different people in here, a lot of different people. Everybody's is going to be so different based on your operation and, things you've done. Some people, their cost is going to be lower because they do their own work. Some people have all paid for equipment. Some people specialize. I mean, you do specialty, your cost is going to be higher. Granted, your revenue should be higher, but that specialized equipment is high. It costs more to operate it. So cost per mile is to say that you can't make it at $2. There's people that could probably still be pretty profitable at $2. If you're leased onto a big company and you're killing it with a 9 mile per gallon truck, getting decent rates, pulling their trailer, your costs are extremely low, you might be around the $2 a mile mark making really good money. Different strokes for different folks. Some of them, you get a paid off truck at a mega carrier where they pretty much pay for everything. Man, fuel and a little bit of insurance, a little bit of maintenance, that's about it.
Well, that's what's kind of killing somebody like me right now, is the maintenance aspect. Just everything's just so.
That $100 at the hardware store got you last night, huh?
Yeah, right. That was cheap. No, just the little things that you would estimate. Oh, this might be like $500. Now it's 1,000, 1,500. Just little things. I mean, I just bought steer tires that I think they were about $90 a piece more than what I just paid a couple of months ago, for the pair. So $180 or whatever more. Everything's just getting more expensive, and that's probably the hardest cost to absorb, because it's whether you save money per mile for your maintenance or if you just set money aside, that's the hard part right now, at least for me. Like, that's the hardest part I'm dealing with. My fuel is what it is. My other costs don't change unless I add something new to them. It's that.
You've made a lot of changes and put a lot of effort into getting that fuel cost down.
Yeah. And still want to do more, just don't want to spend the money to do it right now.
Right. I get that. Chicken Alex says my truck and trailer are paid for, but there is a cost of ownership on that equipment that I factor into my per mile cost. Yeah, that's what I mean by stretching it out over, even though it's paid for, you stretch it out over the total life that you own the equipment. Is kind of what I like to do. It takes a little bit more time, effort to do it that way, but it's more usable information. I kind of see it that way. And accurate. $3 a mile or better, I have a paid off truck. Yeah, man. When the rates were high with paid off equipment, man, you couldn't help but stack that money. Cash, you did that. I mean, when you continued to run a damn tight operation even when rates were sky high, and you just hammered that truck out and paid it off. And hammered out a bunch of other things.
I like to work when it's paying good, you know what I mean? Like, take the time off when it ain't paying good. A lot of people do it the opposite. They work hard when the rates are down, and then they take all the time off when the rates are good.
Yeah. Paul Harris got the answers. He says, Market Trucking Answers made a job change a month or two ago, and it's interfering with his YouTube. But he's doing his podcast available on your favorite podcast app. Okay. All right. Well, he's going to need to go back to his old job because people needs to hear some trucking answers. We'll call this segment Trucking Questions and Answers. I'm going to start a new segment called Trucking Questions. We're not going to answer anything. We're just going to ask questions all day.
What's the real cost on that utility hat?
Free? Well, no. Let me rephrase that. $74,900.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice hat. Bill Beasley, 10 years ago, gave $32,000 for a truck, put 1.4 million miles on it. Consistent 8.8 miles per gallon. 20 cents per mile maintenance, though. Bill Beasley right there. That's how you freaking kill it in trucking.
Yeah.
I would take, 20 cents per mile maintenance on a truck that's made you that much money. Who cares? That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's congratulations. You won trucking.
What kind of truck was that?
Yep. That right there is the person that makes it through $2 a mile, that survives it. And then, you know what? When $2 a mile is over, Bill Beasley's still sitting there on the other side saying, come on with it. Bring me some more of that high money. JP says $140 excluding pay, own truck and reefer. Yeah, that's the thing too. You bring up a good point. Not everybody owns their own trailer. So that's a real cost. Mark M still in the house. Let me change that banner. What else we got for banners here? We gotta put that Fuel Ox banner up there. We need to do, save you some money. Save you 15%. Fuelox.com with promo code DIY Semi. We got a Freight Connect banner. Paul's coming on tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Everybody.
What do you guys got going on?
I don't know. He just wants to talk. He said that he's been thinking about things. He did some writing. He wants to talk about some things. So just going to let the man talk. Joe Little says he handcuffed himself to the steering wheel when rates were high. That's how you do it. Make hay while the sun shines.
Oh, I remember that fourth quarter of 2020 when rates were great. My logbook was non-existent. Fuel was $2 a gallon, and I was running the hell out of it.
You know what you know what I remember is I ended up taking a family vacation. Was that like first quarter back in March? I took a family vacation, and in a matter of like a week, everything just had gone to crap. Like the whole time I was on vacation, I was looking at YouTube and just seeing fuel all of a sudden I got back, fuel was like, $3 a gallon. I got back, it was $6.50 a gallon. Like it was, I'll never forget that.
So like you heard it right here, folks. If you're looking for somebody to blame for everything going south, check out Fate Trucking's channel.
Yeah.
People say it's my fault. I believe it's more of your fault. No coincidence. About the time you take vacation, everything goes to crap.
Yeah. Well, maybe in October this year when I go on my fishing trips, things will be different.
How you going to go ice fishing in October?
I'm not going ice fishing. I'm going to freeze my ass off on the open lake in northern Minnesota in October. It's going to be, probably won't be fun, but.
Try putting some weight on now. Insulate. Bill Beasley, that was a 07 Century with a 14-liter Detroit, 10-speed, and 264 rear ends. Sounds like an old fleet truck. Brother Craig says every farmer knows you make money in season and out of season by diversification. Come on. That's right. Cash, you were saying there was something you wanted to ask Fate Trucking. You heard him say in a live stream the other day, but you got he went Spinny Wheel Jones and you didn't get to hear the whole thing. What was that all about?
I can't remember what he had said. Now it was damn. What was it? I can't remember.
Was that one with Shannon Thomas Trucking and Sterling?
Yeah, it was like right at the end of it. I can't remember what it was. It said, I want to make it perfectly clear, and then I didn't see the rest of it. Don't remember? I was just wondering.
I think I was saying something. I had made a comment about you and DIY, but then I said I want to make perfectly clear how much I respect these two people. I know I had said that once.
Oh.
So he's reading from the script. Okay.
I'm an optimist. I look at things. Maybe it's because I'm naive. I'm only 42 years old or whatever. But I really don't see. I know there's things that aren't good. I get that, but I don't get the panic button and turning in the keys and getting rid of all your equipment. I had said that too. I don't know what's terribly wrong with trucking. Partially because I've been in this industry so long and I have seen it much worse than it is now. I have seen it where truck drivers can't get jobs. We're not at that point. We're just not.
No, 2008 to 2011 was pretty tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough time.
Yeah.
I know. I lost a job that I had been at for 13 years.
When it went to $4 a gallon back then, I about panicked. I went and bought locking fuel caps, so wouldn't sleep at night, afraid somebody's going to steal my fuel.
That happened to me till I got my locking fuel caps. And then my alarm system that I put on my truck.
Yeah. So if you had a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, went and as a new owner operator got your own authority rather than doing what you had done, how do you think it would be going for you now? Would you be fearful? Do you think you'd be in that period of time have set yourself up nice to make it? What do you suppose would be different?
Gosh, there's so many factors that play into that. I wouldn't be at where I would not be as comfortable as I am today. I mean, I'm leased on to you. I'm comfortable with like the customers you have.
The man's pouring a Gatorade into a DIY coffee mug.
I see that.
You're talking over the top of it. Do you have a DIY coffee mug?
No.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Brother Craig wanted to try some leggings.
Speaking of farming, any benefits to running a one-truck authority through my farm? Ag exemption, perhaps? I wouldn't under any circumstance unless you want to lose your farm. Liability. Yeah. Separate it. Damn sure separate them as far from each other as you can. Yes, sir. You have an accident, somebody come after your farm. We don't want that. So anyway, I interrupted you rudely. It's what I do. So I can't apologize for it. It's just how I am.
No, I don't think I would be as comfortable as I am today. But like, if that makes sense.
Okay.
There's too many factors for me to contemplate that. Like, I wouldn't have the truck I have. I wouldn't have the support that I needed and still sometimes need from like you and Cash.
So okay, well maybe you're the good person. Well, Cash is a good person to ask about this, but he's talked a great deal about it. So I'll ask you. You've seen both sides of the story here with being leased on somewhere, and then what goes on with having your own authority, kind of. You've moved to a different position now where you have your own trailer. So I mean, you're close to having your authority. You're just not. Worth it? Not worth it? Any regrets? Do you think it would? The extra X percentage would be worth it? Do you think you could have earned on the level you did having a new authority, having access? Because you gotta understand that having a new authority, you don't have access to everything.
So no, I would not be where I'm at had I gone a different direction and got my own authority. And I could still say even now, like, there are some brokers that I've worked with that even if I would have started my own authority back when I leased on with you, I still might not be able to get into some of the places that I'm able to get into. That, like, some of the work I do, a lot of guys don't want to do. Cash would do it because Cash
he likes money.
He likes money, so he does the style of work I do too. Multi-stop loads. Sometimes those multi-stop loads, I just got done with one the other day that was 8 stops, 2,000 miles. But
how much did it pay you?
It paid me a ton. Like, in my mind, it paid me a lot of money. And I couldn't have, even still now, I wouldn't be able to do that if I had my own authority. Those are the type of loads that make or break a business in my mind. If I can go out and consistently earn X amount of dollars consistently because of the freight that I am basically given because I'm leased on to a carrier, that's more profitable for me than me constantly having to search the load board, because that's something I do now, and it's not easy. It's not fun.
So we're not talking about me and you. We're just talking about with the next thing here. We're just talking about the concept of leasing on or having your own authority. And Cash knows this very well, and he talks about it all the time. So there's things that you can get being with a company that's been around a while versus one that hasn't. So, okay, if you had started with your own authority, could you have bought the equipment the way you were able to buy it, at the interest rate you were able to buy it at, on the terms and the pricing you got it at? That pricing came, due to some other things. Could you have even come close to the fuel discounts you're getting now? Insurance rates, you would be paying for factoring at 2 to 3%. I mean, if you add all these things up, I mean, the fuel discounts alone, and not paying for factoring, you're a pretty good percentage. It becomes even money. I mean, really.
I would say this. For me, or what I think maybe somebody new, I think the easiest avenue to become an owner-operator and experience what it really means to operate not only a truck, but the little bit, the behind-the-scenes type stuff, is you should lease on to somebody, a decent company, and grow from that. Whether that means you stay leased on to them for 5, 6, 7 years, or you learn what you need to learn from that company and go out on your own after that. I would not be successful. I really don't think I would be as successful as I am had I just went out and got my own authority. And
looking back, would you, and this is it's not a loaded question, this is an honest question. Do you regret or think you may have done better if you had done a lease purchase through a mega carrier and leased on there?
No, because that was something I was never going to do. Like, okay. I had already knew that was something I never would have done. I would have a better, when I say better, nicer, like newer truck. That's the only thing. But at what cost? Like, how much would that plastic Freightliner cost me? Because I'm also against, well, I like money. That I would never have leased onto I never would have done a lease purchase like that. It just goes against like my principles, but that's just me.
So you're saying you are a principled man?
Here we go.
What are some of those principles? Break it down. Come on, Cash, jump in here. We need to find out principles that make Fate Trucking tick.
Let me interpret a little bit of what he said there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fate, but I think he's saying he's better than everyone that's doing a lease purchase at a mega carrier.
That's not at all what I'm saying. I don't believe.
You got to explain. Okay. Like you got me confused.
So you talked about credit earlier, right? And buying trucks on credit, running everything through your credit and stuff like that. Now, do I think credit is a necessary evil? I do. That I don't operate my life solely based on credit. So I would never operate my business due to like the principles I have in life for my money. I would never operate my business that way. If I wanted to lease on to a big carrier, all the things that make me have skin in the game, they waive. No money down. No, we'll do this. We'll set everything up for you. I'm not investing anything into it. Am I going to work as hard or take care of something that I haven't worked hard to obtain? I was a company driver for 20 years. Didn't own the equipment. I didn't take care of it the way I take care of my own equipment that I own. You know what I mean? Like, I believe people need to have skin in the game in life, whether that's a kid going to college or, I mean, I have a daughter that's leaving for college, and I spoke with you personally about something she wants that isn't necessary.
I'd say it's
She
downright
needs,
sick and perverted.
you know what I mean? Come on.
You get hurt so easily.
I,
Having
I've,
fun.
so
So no, it's back up. Something people don't talk about, or there's all kinds of unseen benefits, right? Some maybe are a bigger deal than others, but what about if you're leased onto somewhere? You get to take advantage of that carrier's credit. You may have bad credit, you may have great credit, but hey, you can use their credit a lot of times at no cost, right? Like, we kind of did that. I didn't finance that truck, but I paid cash for it, and then you were able to take advantage of the cash pricing on a truck without putting out the entire amount of cash.
right. And let's take a step back even further. When I first started talking to you,
Thank you, Mark M. Appreciate it. Super chat. And Snorload. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, buddy, too. Go ahead.
When I first kind of met you, I guess, off of YouTube, and we started talking about this, you knew I was in possession, like I could purchase a truck. I was telling you the trucks I was looking at, what the dealership had offered me. And even though like I didn't know you, what you said to me made sense. And then you told me about this truck to where, yeah, the interest paid on the truck that I own was next to nothing. And yeah, like some of the equipment, I just purchased a trailer from you. There's I don't want to speak, like, there's really good benefits that I receive, and maybe other people's experience is different, but I know for where I am today in my life, not only personally but business wise, I'm successful because of the avenues I took. I didn't force anything to happen. If I went to a big mega carrier, I would have forced me getting into a brand new Freightliner, Cascadia. Beautiful truck, don't get me wrong, like, good for you. But like, I would have forced it. Anytime I've forced stuff in my life, I fail at it.
Prison.
It needs to kind of grow naturally.
That's what she said. So, obviously there has to be the caveat or disclaimer that, yes, you're not going to get those things everywhere you lease on. If you lease on to whatever mega carrier and they're buying cash trucks, are they passing that cash price on to you? No, probably not, and marking up different things at different rates. So that has to be said. But there's plenty of places out there for people to go. I know even over where Snorlord's leased on that they make guys square deals on things. But it's if people want the megas to change, they got to stop doing business with them.
The guy in the top right corner talks about it in all of his weekly recaps. I mean, that's what got me realizing the avenue that I was going was probably the right avenue. He talked about being able to get a hold of freight that might never see any type of load board or connections that his carrier has with certain people. That, like, I look at somebody like Cash, who puts out these weekly recaps, is honest, but is still doing really well. When you go to the next video, just talks about I'm parking my truck and letting it sit. Well, how can it be so different? How can one guy say he's parking his truck and trucking is over and done, and you have another guy putting out weekly recaps that's getting, $7,000 to $9,000 a week? It's not that different. It can't be that different.
Oh yes, it can. Oh, it certainly can be. That's why you hear this saying of equality, and we need to guarantee equal this and equal that. Well, yeah, trucking, it's equal opportunity, but it is damn sure not equal outcome.
Wait a minute, you're missing my point. The point is the avenue that we chose to go.
Talking about
That-
Electric Avenue? Keep going. We gotta have a little bit. We gotta entertain. We're edutaining here.
The avenue that he chose to go is why you don't see him posting videos on why, you know, he's parking his truck for 2 months and going to the 90s to his part-time job every weekend. You know,
I honestly have no idea who they're talking about. Do not say a name. I do not want to know. I don't even want to go look at it.
no, I'm just saying. I believe how you structure and the deals that you make. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna piss people off.
Do it.
Why bitch about a rate on a Raycon that you signed? Like, are you yelling at yourself? Are you creating a video so you can go back and look in the mirror? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, find something better. Go somewhere that you don't want to go. Like, I don't know. We create our own problems.
Tell us more about that. How do we do that?
I'm going to be quiet.
I'm here listening. With your fine ass legs. Damn it,
I'm
boy.
going to let Cash talk.
Cash, can you jump in here and interpret a little bit?
Yeah. Back to what he was saying, I think he's saying now, you know, like, he feels that he is just superior and smarter than all of these guys on YouTube that sign rate cons and don't get, you know, at minimum $3.50 a mile.
Let me tell you everything you need to know about fake trucking. All right, you're looking at a man here that books freight with TQL. Now, if you've been watching YouTube, you know that TQL is the devil, right? He sent a rate confirmation last week for me to sign from TQL. Y'all believe that?
Yeah, but how much was it?
I don't know, like $4 a mile or something.
Yeah.
He fell for that.
Obviously, does not acknowledge his value.
Yeah. Well, he's new to booking freight, so you got to cut him some slack on that.
I'm actually pretty impressed with myself, but that goes back to what DIY said earlier. I listen. I pay attention. I don't throw wrenches into something that's working. Like,
let me tell you a little story. 2 weeks ago, I booked a load for $6.50 a mile, and it was for freight trucking. And he said, "Nah, I don't want that." So I hopped in my truck and I went to do it, you know, because that's the kind of guy I am. Now, you were smart not to take that because that load really went to hell. That was the one I ended up leaving with a tonneau after 24 hours. But
oh yeah.
That being said, so your psychic powers are strong, and it wasn't a $6.50 a mile because it went 100 miles. A $3,800 load on just over 500 miles. A good load.
Why didn't I take that?
Because I think you would have had to wait a day, which is fine.
Yeah.
Red Jeb wants to know if he can complain on a rate con that he did not sign, and he's sitting at home watching this entertainment because I didn't like the rate. You should never apologize for sitting at home and watching this. This is high-quality, lowbrow entertainment. Or, that's what we do on Cash's channel. Over here, we do lowbrow, high-quality entertainment.
Yeah, we jaw jack on my channel. We don't talk no trucking over there.
Nope. All dick jokes all the time. Mark M went into this with a briefcase full of money and decided, hey, I'm going to be a reefer mechanic. Which might have been a great career choice. I know a guy around here. He's the ace mechanic at the Thermo King dealer. He takes the service truck home with him every night. And let me tell you about how much money that freaking guy makes. Insane amount of money. Insane amount of money. Because they're having trouble finding people to do that, trainable, and learn that trade. Don't get me. I've thought about doing it my damn self.
I thought about reefer mechanics the other day. You're doing a lot of mechanic work, but it's weird because a lot of it's up on a ladder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You gotta have that
sit on a
platform
ladder all day.
or that service truck that backs right up to the unit. That would be bad. They could work out in the snow or the rain; it wouldn't even matter. Charge them hazard pay for being out in a blizzard, but meanwhile I'm in my cozy service truck. Mark M says, if I had that money instead of buying a truck, went to be a mechanic, I'd have been with a paid off house by now. Hey, just a minor setback. You get there.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Keep that up. If I had that money instead of buying a truck. See, well, I don't want to say anything.
Don't you say nothing bad about Mark M. He's a channel member.
No, it's nothing bad. Like,
there's all kinds of things you can do with money. Like right now, Cash, you've made the point several times. Go buy a brand new truck for $300,000. If I had $300,000, I damn sure wouldn't go buy a new truck with it. I can think of a lot of really good things to do with $300,000.
Yeah.
That would make money, or just make me really happy. I buy a house for $300,000. It lasts me my lifetime. I built a house for less than that.
oh, good for you.
Wow. Turning on me in my own life. Yeah.
What he is trying to say to you, DIY, is I'm better than you. I'm superior in every way possible.
I'm certainly not better. I'm not even at near his level.
See, I feel like there's some underhanded tone in there where he's saying that, but he doesn't believe it.
No, not about DIY, just about, like, if trucking's so bad, how am I making extra mortgage payments on my house to pay my house off sooner? Like, I don't see. Now, granted, because I'm leased on, I know it's because I'm leased onto a carrier. I'm well aware of that. But, like, I don't get all the negativity. Yes, volumes are down. I'm looking at the load board right now because I'm trying to find a load for Monday, which I should have done days ago and got complacent and didn't do it. So, yeah, volumes suck. Well, then I have a choice to make. Do I just drive home and hang out a day early, or do I sit here and complain about it?
Hey,
you know what I mean?
If you're going to go, a sidebar, if you're going to go home empty, is your unit due for service soon, or did I service that before I gave it to you?
I just looked today. 1,000 more hours.
Oh, okay. I was going to say leave it here, then go home, but never mind. So tell us more about these principles you were talking about earlier.
I know you're setting me up for something.
I'm not.
What cash talk?
Do you often service his unit for him, DIY?
Only not often, but when I do, it's a full service. I'm gonna tell you. Yep.
I bet.
with
premium lubricants, I will add.
Do you start out with
He
lubricants?
Yes.
He leaves the red and tacky on the upper lip. He doesn't wipe it off.
Okay. Is that a 3-hole lube job you got there on that trailer?
It's the 3 gearbox special.
Right.
Where are we at in the chat here?
How much hate am I getting?
All of it. Not nearly enough, actually. Travis Weaver says, my insurance renewal is October. Progressive will knock $2,000 off if I pay in full. I normally do the 10-month pay. It was suggested to get a 12-month loan and only pay a few hundred in interest. If it works out for you, that if you can work that out, it's not a bad strategy.
Mhm.
Not a bad strategy. Of course, if you got the cash and just pay it in full, but I'm kind of guessing that's probably not the case. We're talking about getting a loan. Get yourself a line of credit anyway. Set yourself up a line of credit, even if you don't use it. Just have it sitting there. Not a bad strategy. Then you have to rag up them credit cards if something comes up. 30% interest. Minnesota truck, MN Trucking in the house. I missed him. Brother Craig says you got us trained well, Fate Trucking. Who's training who? Are you a Pokemon trainer? Is that what's going on here?
I think he's meaning you're training me.
Oh. Mechanic J says the negativity on YouTube is because of bad business ownership. It's hard to, well, yeah. But negativity on YouTube gets views. So if you want to make money on YouTube, you got to get people to watch. And different people, different strokes for different folks. Some people will do, have limits they will push to get views. Some people won't do this. Some people won't do that. But if you want to get views, Cash and I say it all the time, the dumber your video, the more views you're going to get.
It's sad but true.
It is. And this is a proven concept. People don't like to be educated. They like to be entertained. But hey, that's what, that's what you're tuning in for, is entertainment. You ain't going to find it here. I'll tell you that.
No, a bunch of whiteboard drawing. Oh, take 2 hours off here. Take a nap. Line over here.
Wow.
Uh-oh,
I'm getting a lot of hate in my own live stream. Can you imagine that? You mean that whiteboard? That whiteboard right there?
For that?
Yeah.
Hot Rod Dave says, I was told if I had more haters on my YouTube channel, I would grow faster. You would, but honestly, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Take the slower growth and keep it positive. It's hard to go through, but it's worth it in the long run. And don't tie your channel to that either. Like if you're under that channel name hanging around some sketchy stuff on YouTube, you're forever tied to that in the algorithm. So
yeah, the best way
away.
to grow your channel is to offer your TA points to people.
Buy them showers and parking in exchange for a shout out.
That kind of went to principal too. Like, hold on, I'm turning my APU on.
If anybody wants to help me grow my channel, I'll split a shower with you. Just saying.
I'll give you some parking credits.
Yeah. You wash my back, I'll wash your back. You know what I mean? Then we can wash front.
I was trying to be nice. Help a guy out.
That's what she said.
Trying to help a guy get out. Right?
He softballed it so soft I couldn't even line up to hit it. It was such a softball. Damn it.
Oh man. Oh. Casey Mo says, #1 stock pick to buy at the present. Cash, go. Lightning round.
#1 DIY stock pick to buy at the present.
I got nothing.
I got one.
I don't see anything that I absolutely got to have right now.
I'm right there with you. Cash would be the stock I would pick right now.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Stay away from all that meme shit, meme stocks and meme investments, and It's at least do that.
Yeah.
If you only know the name and you should buy it, you don't know enough to buy it.
Right.
What's that, Cash?
I bought a little stag the other day, but I ain't bought nothing in a while. I just keep putting it cash, leaving it in there as cash, because I got a feeling, if they raise interest rates, they're talking about in the next 18 months raising it 4 more times.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it's a half a basis point each time. We're talking 2% from where we're at right now.
It'll be more than that, by the way.
Yeah, and that's on the low end at a half a basis point. I mean, hell, they could go a full point next time. So, I heard a thing from Leon Cooperman the other day. Said he expects like a 40% pullback. So
the dude, you ever heard of that movie called The Big Short?
Yeah.
The dude that movie was made about, I forget his name, just sold every investment he had in the market, and he held on to Michael Burry. There you go. The only thing he held on to was a prison investment called Geo. I'm familiar with them. I'm familiar with that.
Get you some Geo for sure.
Yeah, not for me. But tell me what that means.
I got a Dick Cheney portfolio. I'm heavy in Geo in that one. When you're evil, you gotta invest like Cheney. Come on. That guy, I respect that guy was correct one time, like to the tune of, really, really correct. But I feel like about every 2 years, I see a story about him as he's, predicting the next bubble. And it's like, I get it, dude. You were really, really right one time. But that don't mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying there? It's like,
yeah. Did he call it right, or did he get really lucky?
Yeah. I know there for like a couple weeks, he was in my Google News feed like nonstop. I finally had to be like, okay, no more of this.
Yeah. I actually happen to think that he called it right. Yeah. I don't think it was dumb luck.
No, I mean, he done the research, like if you watch the movie, he was on to something. And like I said, I'm not, I kind of agree with him. Like I'm heavy cash right now. I think if you want some dividend rates, wait till these prices come down a little bit, and your investment's going to have a hell of a dividend rate on it if they don't pull dividends real hard.
They didn't during the big C.
Right.
Very few. And that was, for a lot of them, quite possibly the worst thing they'd ever been through. That's a last resort effort when they do that. That's to cut your dividends is a cardinal sin for a company like that. It hurts them. Yeah. Joe Little says, get your $22.90 paid up. August 31st is the due date. Yep, made a community post about that the other day. Posted a link to the video, how to DIY it if you're interested.
Yeah. Oh. Paid mine the other day. She's over and done.
Ashley McGee says there's a lot of waiting on loads, unloading, and too much time in between loading and delivering. Yeah, they're messing with all that. Transit times are ridiculous anymore. You deal with a lot of that, Cash.
Yeah. It pays good if it's got an extra day on it, or it's like, 12 hours too short of hours. Like that's where the money's at. The ones that aren't scheduled right.
Yeah. Matthew Monsi says, I prefer being educated. Entertainment is a bonus. All right. So we got one person on our side.
He's the 1%er.
So you're the one.
Yeah.
The Mechanic J says, ignorance and being dumb sounds like bliss.
Uh-huh.
Brother Craig says, kinda true is the best we can hope for anymore. Red Jeb says, me and my 10 fake aliases are coming to the rescue, Cash. Yeah, Michael Burry, there you go. MN Trucking's got a strategy, buying the QQQs and the SPY every week, regardless. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. Yeah, Casey Moe, he says, or Rumsfeld. Yeah. What are they on? They're in the thing called the Carlisle Group, is what they're all a part of. Ex-presidents and whatnot. Dirty Broke in the house. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Thanks for coming in. I bet he's working though. I was gonna say send him a link, but I bet he's trucking it up. He's a late night worker. Hot Rod Dave, friend made a bunch with Bitcoin, but it still scares me. Seems like a made up deal. Yeah, I mean, a lot of different opinions on that. Even Cash and I have different opinions on that.
What?
But that's okay.
Would you be in on Bitcoin DIY?
I want it well below 9,000. I don't know a specific dollar amount, but well below.
Let's say in the next 6 months, let's say at Christmas, it's 7,000.
I'd probably buy some. I would never go heavy in it no matter what. Even if it was like 400, I'd be like, yeah, I'll buy a little. I'm buying a lot. It's just not, and that's not me speaking against it. It's just me knowing my comfort zone, and like, I am really comfortable and sleep very well at night with the investments that I've made. I have a lot of confidence in them, and
you're welcome.
It will turn out well. I just need time, and I just don't need to screw that up. And the part of the reason I say that is because I've screwed it up so many times in the past, and I video about the worst investment trade I ever made. I lost a lot of money, but looking back, was it worth? Can I say it was worth it? Probably not. But man, I learned a lot from it, and it made me like think differently and mature along those lines. So I've just decided, you know what? I'm gonna have. Here's one for you. From that point going forward, I decided I'm going to have the kind of discipline that I wish I had back then. If you ever look back and say, I wish I had then what I knew then what I know now. Well, all you can do is start from that point forward and say, okay, now I know that I'm going to have the discipline to stick with it. It's kind of the way I feel about my strategy and my investment plans and stuff. It'll work. I need the time. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of time between then and now, but you can't change that. All you can do is put, higher amounts of money in. So it's not when somebody brings me something new, I may dismiss it, but it's not out of disrespect or that whatever. It's focused right here. This is what I do, and it'll be okay. Grade 8 says a broken clock is still correct twice a day. He's taking a dig at you, Fate Trucking. I think that's a dig at you.
That's fine.
I can just pick random comments here and just say they're all a dig at you. We'll make it some way, shape, or form. Hot Rod Dave wants rental properties. Yeah, that's a good way to go. Oh, Mark M wrapped up in a smartphone addiction. Got himself a brand new dumb phone on the table, and he's going to sell his iPhone. Yeah, I think a lot of people have that smartphone addiction. Just none of us will admit it. I think I've been a little too wrapped up in here lately.
Yours doesn't even work.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I don't have to take your phone calls.
Yeah, can we have intervention about your cell phone DIY?
You could try.
So you know where I am right now?
Not really.
DIY. Think of where I'm picking up. You think I can stay here?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Park on the road. Park on their driveway.
That's on the far right side is where I parked.
You're fine.
Okay. I only have 1 minute on my drive clock left, so I'm kind of screwed if they kick me out.
You still got the extension there on the relief thing.
Yeah, I know.
That would just be going to find parking. That's legit too. Mark M, quote of the night, quote of the year. What could your life look like if you actually did all the things you said you were going to do? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. How about that? Red Jeb does his $22.90 old way, U.S. mail, no fee. I'm with you on that. That's exactly how I do mine. And that's how my video shows to do it. Brother Craig's living that farming life for his retirement. Okay. Jonathan Campus, I don't even truck. I'm here for the banter. Banter about you two. Come on, I'm not getting enough out of you guys. Banter about.
I changed my name to Jaw Jack Trucking.
Oh, you did.
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm boring.
Nice.
People don't like logic and reason.
They do. They just don't like you.
That might be true too.
Just kidding.
I should make a video about DIY putting in valve stops or whatever the hell they're called on my APU and how it doesn't work now.
Shut up. It does too. We just had to get the air out of bleed the air out.
Oh, you want to hear a funny story? This is how dumb I am. I was walking back to get into the truck from Walmart, and I had a minus 20 degree load, right? Well, after I got the green light, I shut my reefer off, and I'm walking down the road back to the truck, and I'm looking under the truck, and I see a huge puddle right where we spliced the lines. I immediately freaked out. I thought I had lost all my coolant. I'm underneath the truck, and all of a sudden it died, like I'm following the water line. Well, what it was the defrost on the Reefer, but I thought it was all my coolant. Yeah, I'm literally under the truck thinking I'm like and then I start following the line of water. I'm like, oh, it came from my Reefer. I'm okay.
Yeah, that's where I dumped my piss jug.
Yeah. Plot twist. Trucker was pissing on the other side of the truck.
And you laid down in it.
Oh,
did you tell everybody one of the benefits of being leased onto a carrier is they will also do your laundry?
And bring me out to eat?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Mechanic J, how do you feel about index funds? I think for 90% of people out there, it is entirely appropriate and a good thing. I just don't. Well, I do use some of them, just not to a full extent. I have some different goals, and a lot of them don't meet my goals. But love them. I think for most people, they're best thing you could do. Bill Beasley says, how much lube does an F8 service unit take? Quart and a half. The unit's kind of old, so leaky seals. Hot Rod Dave, you should have called him first. He says never lay down anywhere a trucker's been.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Call him first.
I was such a little
bitch.
I didn't want to say it. You saw how.
Damn, you went to pieces last night, dog.
Yeah, you saw firsthand how that switch gets changed, and I get
we need to put a speed limiter on that thing.
I get pissed off.
A little bit. Thought you was gonna swing on me.
No, I was pissed. I was
swing
pissed,
on me. I'll just take it out of your settlement.
Along with the other couple $100 you do every week.
Side note, everybody, I'm getting really good at this Photoshop thing. Has anybody else been practicing on Photoshop? It is really an acquired skill, especially the numbers part. When you want to take numbers out and put different numbers back in their place.
Uh-huh.
Takes a while to get good at that. What's wrong?
Nothing.
All right.
I would have to look at my settlements to know that you're doing that.
You got a big check next week. You want me to take them tire? No, I got to put tires on there. I was supposed to reimburse you for your tires that I bought from you. I forgot to put it on there. I'll get it on next week.
Okay.
Did you get that tire receipt from what tires you purchased the other day?
Not yet, no.
Call them up.
Okay.
Cash, any more friendly banter?
I'm just listening.
That's how business is done. So, Faye, you had a pretty good week. You got a pretty good paycheck coming next week. I'm not even going to tell you how much it is. I'm going to leave you hanging.
I booked all the freight. I know what I made.
Yeah, but you don't know what's left. Let's play it. Are you up for a little game? Let's play a game.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up your pay stub. First one in the chat that comes within $50 gets your paycheck. Fair enough?
No.
Oh.
No.
Sounded like a fun game to me.
The truth is, I don't even remember what I did last week.
I know. It's going to be so easy to steal from you.
Don't say that.
I'm not. Just kidding. Cash, anything else on your mind for this evening?
Not particularly.
Anything you want to promote?
I got multiple channels on this YouTube thing. They're both awesome. Check them out.
They are. Any jabs you cared to take at our guest this evening? We're promoting Quaker Oats.
Other than the fact that he looks like a guy that would eat something that's made for 13-year-old kids. No.
Doesn't he know that crap killed Wilford Brimley?
Who's Wilford Wimley?
Exactly. That's why we have you here.
Are you setting me up? I'm going to Google it right now. Are you setting me up for something? What was his name?
Wilford Brimley. We're trying to save your life.
Oh, he's the Quaker Oats dude.
Exactly. Didn't do him any good, did it?
I don't know. He lived a long life, 1934 to 2020. I'd be fine with that.
I think we would have been too.
What am I missing here?
A lot.
Oh, man. Just
think
about that all night before you go to bed. It'll come to you.
Yeah. It's like watching the airplanes go over at the Super Bowl.
Oh, God. And here's the screwed up thing. The minute I need help or like a question about something, you guys are going to be the two people that I call.
Yeah, my phone doesn't work so much.
Oh, then I'll call Cash. Although with all the videos he's putting out, he's not going to have time to answer his phone.
Yeah, call my 1-900 number if you could. For a good time.
Exactly. Red Diesel, $5 super chat. Thank you. It says, what's your thoughts on housing crisis in China? I don't know. I mean, China's hard. Go ahead, Cash. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, you go first. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've been trying to buy a house in China all day, and I've yet to be able to do it. So I'm very concerned about it.
Yeah, the housing crisis in China is so bad, they're coming over here and buying all the houses. I half expect they're going to load them on ships and take them back. Come on. Oh, sorry.
China.
That joke didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
Can we get them in a container, though?
Can. We just need bigger containers. I
I'm
heard.
not talking about the house. I'm talking about the people.
Oh, yeah. They're short. We can stack them 3 high in there.
That's so wrong.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. I don't know about the housing crisis in China. What you do? I did hear something interesting about China the other day. They're expecting a substantial population decline in China. They're saying, what were they saying a few years ago? There was 2 billion people in China. That now possibly they're thinking there might be 1.6 billion, and that over the next 10 years they might settle in right around 600 or 700 million.
What?
Yeah, like 10 to 15 years.
It's already going on. It's been going on for like a decade in Japan.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about having a population, cutting it in half. So that just doesn't happen by attrition or something minor.
Yeah.
I mean, are they thinking starvation? Are they thinking it's going to be government sanctioned? I don't know. I haven't heard him say that about any other country.
Can I suggest, if anyone of any importance or control in China is listening right now, I'm available. I'm just saying, everywhere I go, the population seems to increase. I'm just saying.
Oh, need to bring in some new breeding stock? Or are they saying the population in China is going to decrease because they're all going to come here?
Possibly. Now. Maybe that's what they mean. They'll be taking over the world, so they,
Yeah. 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 Other than that, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit ignorant to the Chinese housing crisis.
Yeah, me too.
I'm guessing, they're knocking them all down because nobody wants to live in a house where it smells like they cooked a turd. Doing that authentic Chinese cooking, some of it, I'm just saying, some of it don't smell all that great. And I don't think you're getting that smell out of the carpet. The only way you're going to get rid of it is knock that house down.
I know they used to. China has investment groups that build cities. They build malls and houses and everything, but nobody ever goes to the mall. Like, they're not open for business. They build them to invest their. God, I watched a thing on it, like a documentary on it, I don't know, a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago now. But China builds entire towns that nobody ever lives in. And it's
Korea does that too.
It's a way that they're able to keep their money. At the time, that's what it was. They couldn't invest outside of China. So all these big investors were investing in real estate and building monstrosities, buildings, skyscrapers that never went open for business. A way to keep their money in state or something, I think it was. I don't remember. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Tell
Bill
me
Beasley.
more about foreign policies, Fate.
I'm not the guy.
Does it align with your principles?
No.
Wait a minute. I just saw you spit chew in that Diet Mountain Dew can. Didn't I see you just drink out of the same Diet Mountain Dew can 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, no. This is gone. Anyone that's got the top off is gone. I'm drinking Gatorade Zero, lemon lime, I think, or lemonade. Lemon lime.
Okay. All right. Paul Harris says we need to check with Mexico for loading instructions on those containers. Cash.
Yeah.
Don't want to exceed the floor weight ratings. Oh, man. Yeah, Bill Beasley, I can't say I probably disagree with you on that one. I think that's probably likely how they achieve that. Create a laboratory solution. You're right too. One child policy, you end up with too many males, you get a negative birth rate. But yeah. Yep. They are buying all our farmland. And next to military bases, strategically, a lot of it. Coincidence? Coinkydink? I don't know. Talking about a 2008 type of housing crash in China. Ooh. Thing, obviously that's bad, yes, but countries like China, a lot of these countries are largely absent of a middle class. That's part of the, you have the haves and the have-nots, and straight up, largely that's the way it is in a lot of these countries. So you talk about a housing crash. It's going to be odd. It's definitely going to hurt the haves, largely the ones that own housing. But I'm gonna have to look more into that. I don't know a lot about that. What's going on over there? I mean, you got countries over there collapsing their currencies. You got some serious issues in Southeast Asia, and largely unreported here in the United States. Bill Beasley, new Chinese restaurant name. Who cooked poo? Oh, come on now. That's that lowbrow, high quality entertainment you're getting right there. Yep, China. Mark Evans says China don't use banks. They can't migrate. That's why they get these ghost cities. That's how they store their wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he knows what I'm talking about. They did a documentary on it.
Yeah. You sure it wasn't a rockumentary? Are you sure you weren't watching a Queen rockumentary?
I don't know what that reference means.
Of course not.
Should I?
Are we at the Super Bowl?
Why is that?
These Jets keep going over.
Oh man, we're pushing 11:30 at night, and I gave up my dinner time. Have me some dinner.
Zesty sauce for dinner.
Is that what you do with zesty sauce? I thought that was for something else. I thought that was for wheel bearings and O-rings.
Oh God.
Yeah. How about that? It's a good point, Tennessee Orangeman. Been talking to my family about that. Real issues coming in farming. We might have some food crisis coming here. We get, with the shortage of overprices of fertilizer this year, crop yields are substantially lower in a lot of places, substantially lower. And you got these droughts in the south. They're starting to they're killing cattle in Texas again, so can't feed them or water them.
So
hold on to your hats for all that. Food's going to become a big deal again.
Can I ask a serious question?
Can't guarantee a serious answer, but yes.
So you talk about a food shortage and this and that, and yet you're talking about a food shortage in the most wasteful country probably in the world when it comes to food and how much food we waste.
Yeah.
So
see, we like to talk about solving problems because it makes people feel good, right? We like to talk about feeding the homeless and being sustainable and all this and that because it makes people all warm and fuzzy and really feel good. We don't actually do none of that.
Well, that's kind of my point. If there's less available, wouldn't that just mean that we have to become more conservative in like the food that we eat, the preparation? We don't make meals for 10 to serve 10 when there's only 4 people and throw away all the leftovers. And I mean, how many
society, we don't know how to do that. Look at okay, so we've been hauling these loads that a lot of times we've had some damaged cases or overages, right? And this is real. This is expensive food. It's some of the most and you'll end up with a pallet of this really expensive food in a major city within, how many 50 miles of probably 25 food banks. Not one of them will stay a minute past closing time to take this thousands of dollars worth of food. They don't give a damn about feeding the hungry. They care about punching the clock and going home.
I agree.
And how many times have we encountered that? I do more than you because over the several trucks, we've had that happen a good deal of times. It ain't about charity. It ain't about feeding the hungry. It's 5 o'clock. I'm going home. I'm not staying a minute late. Even though I could bring in enough food from that truck to fill my freaking freezer in this food bank and feed my congregation or whatever kind of organization. We don't want it. We don't take it. You could come on Monday.
You remember
so you
that
end up throwing this thousands of dollars worth of food in the dumpster. How many times have we done that?
I can only think of one time where they actually took the product, and it was that small, that small, like, what would you call that? Church, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
so we talk a lot. We talk a lot, but really, when it comes down to it, they're not going to put themselves out or inconvenience themselves to do the activity that they totally exist to do. That's their purpose of why they exist, is to engage in that activity. That is all. We're not really gonna just business hours. It's just, we're not gonna take it real serious. And that's just us. How much of that goes on? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's like we set up in these cities, these major cities. Look at California, Los Angeles, or take it, San Francisco, the Bay Area. They have office buildings full of bureaucrats to solve the homeless problem. They bring in millions and millions of dollars a year to do it. None of that money actually sees it to the streets. It's to support their bureaucracy and justify their existence.
Dude.
So that we can say we're addressing the homeless problem.
Cash,
what it is.
Cash, have you seen it in Minneapolis? That they built like a homeless camp.
Go to California. Go up by freaking Tulare and Stockton. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
But at any rate, we don't talk trucking here. We just jaw jacking. We should probably wrap this up. It's gone sideways. Fate trucking's tired. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm tired. My dog misses me. She's getting her beef jerky. Cash, you've been very generous with your time. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.
Hey, let's take a vote. What should I have for dinner tonight? Hot Pocket or beef and broccoli? What should I have for dinner tonight?
Are you 12 years old?
Yeah. Are we really going to sit here and pretend that you're not going to eat both of them?
No, I'm only going to eat one. I can't eat both of them. This is a big Hot Pocket. This is your half pounder.
That's what she said.
I just bought this today. This looks pretty good.
I'm going to go ahead and ruin your perception of what that's in that little ice cream carton there. It's going to be some dry-ass rice and some beef you couldn't chew if you had horse teeth, and a couple pieces of broccoli.
So you're going to love it, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Put some ketchup on that shit, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you have any zesty sauce? We know you do.
No zesty sauce. I eat pretty bland. I got salt and sugar. That's it. Salt and sugar. Or salt and pepper. Fucking sugar? Salt and pepper.
We're not sitting here talking about 90s rap groups. I mean, we're trying to decide what to have for dinner.
There we go.
Eating this late's going to give you nightmares and heartburn.
Well, can't be any worse than the world I live in.
All right.
I'm going to leave.
Fate trucking.
Good night.
All right. Now that he's gone, we can go for another hour yet, right?
Right.
Just kidding. You got work to do tomorrow.
A little bit, But no, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for doing it.
That 3 hours.
Has
Holy
everybody
moly.
hit the like button and subscribe to Cash's King's channel? If not,
Yeah.
make sure you do that on your way out. And 2 o'clock tomorrow, Paul's gonna come on, talk about different things and whatnots, freight and all that. So everybody stop in, and we'll see y'all later. Everybody have a great night.